Go, y'all. What's going on? It is episode 5 of the Shenanigans podcast. I appreciate y'all being here in these kick streaming streets with us. We have two very special guests joining us today for our first ever Girls Power Hour out here in these kick streaming streets. If you guys are not familiar with our podcast, we do a segment where we have people that are kick streamers on the affiliate levels, not verified at this time, and they're also not partnered, giving us the real experience from the people who make up the heart of this platform. So I want to make sure that we give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. We're going to be talking a little bit about, we have a Queen VTuber that's joining us today. That's my girl XO Chop. So she's going to be giving us some insight on her experience from that community, as well as being a queen in the space. And I've got our girl F7 Shenanigans who's joining us. She's part of the F7 crew, who's a Fortnite gang over here in these kick streaming streets. So I want to show both of them some big love when we do our discussion today, all about women and learning more about them as individuals out here in these kick streaming streets. So let's give them our undivided attention. And without further ado, Chop Shenanigans, what's going on, ladies? How you doing today? Let's start with Chop. How you doing today, baby?
Oh my God, hi.
Thank you for joining us with all of our...
Girl, you look so much better than I did when I was pregnant, because when I was pregnant, I looked a hot mess.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second, even.
Girl.
Stop. And I appreciate the compliment, though. You know, your girl be trying. Your girl does be trying. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for even considering doing this with my little crazy self. I enjoy the hell out of you. So she's like,
I cleared my whole schedule.
Like, I will make the time. So I appreciate you being here, Queen. I also want to check in with my girl F7 Shenanigans, who I know is unfortunately sit with us in the dark, but shine some light, my queen, and let us know how you are doing today as well.
I'm back. Hey, girl. Hey.
My queen, is the power back on yet?
No, not yet, but it wouldn't let me unmute, so I left and came back real quick.
Oh, I see you said it says within the hour. Okay, perfect. I'm like, I need the lights on in my sister's house. This ain't, that's not gonna fly.
I'm sitting at a flashlight.
Is she a real one?
I know, and you're making time to be here with us, so thank you. Oh my God.
I was excited. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Excellent.
In the dark.
In the dark, but you bring the light, and I appreciate you bringing light energy into this space. We got a lot to discuss when it comes to being a streamer on Kick. We know that it can come with a lot of highs and a lot of, we'll just call them areas for growth.
Girl, you sounded like my boss at work talking about areas for growth. Nah.
That's our favorite management word. Areas for growth.
Tell me your why is the biggest triggering phrase to any teacher.
Yeah. It really, I'm telling you that these things hurt. I don't miss being in the office, but I might have to take myself back at some point. We gonna see, but we see each other, Chop. We good.
Like, Lord, I just had some flashbacks with you saying
your why. You about to make me nauseous. You know I'm 16 weeks pregnant. At any moment I could go. Okay, let me stop. Before
this is what happens when me and Lauren get together, is we just start yapping.
It's crazy, but we see each other. We right there in each other's spirit. So we're kindred spirits. I feel like you and Shenanigans.
We are.
I appreciate both of y'all being here. So I want to make sure I give you guys an opportunity to, like we always do on our show, let us know how you got yourselves over to this, what some would label as a degenerate platform that we call.
I was just on Twitter about that earlier.
I know it's been a crazy Twitter. We're gonna bring up Twitter as well and how that plays into being streaming and social platforms and all that stuff later on. But baby, much to discuss. I know we started with Chop for the how are you, so I'm gonna start with you, Shenanigans, for introductions. Just let us know how you came to Kick and what kind of content that you do over here.
Okay, so my name is Kristen, aka Shenanigans. I originally started out just playing the game about 5 years ago, I want to say, and it was just with the kids because my stepdaughter, we actually ended up getting her full time and she was staying there. So I got my first PlayStation and then my nephew would come over. And so the kids really got me into the gaming. And then I was on Facebook gaming. So I made a lot of friends, and
Mhm.
5 years later, I still play with the same people when I first got introduced to the game, like my
Wow.
mods, Courtney,
I love
Deco, who's
that.
in your chat,
Sure was.
Big Johnson, all of them that are all the original people that I met on Facebook gaming. However,
Wow.
Facebook gaming, I did not feel like as a female streamer, I was not protected from harassment and
Ooh.
sexual stuff. So I ended up coming to Kick when it first started
Okay.
about almost 2 years ago. So, but I just kind of was doing viewership and stuff. And then I took about a 3 month break of streaming because I was really kind of distraught over how I was treated on Facebook. I mean, it even took me a year
Mm.
just to get paid. Let's put it
What?
that way. Yeah.
Fuck.
Because somebody,
Mark
yeah,
Zuckerberg got all that money. How dare you?
their customer service and their support, like you can, unless you're a partner, you can't reach anybody, which is one of the
Oh,
things that I
Oh,
really love, which people complain and they can say whatever they want about Kick and
talk
whatever,
about it.
but the Kick staff, and when you have a problem, you have an immediate person that you can talk to.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
seems
that's
like
why
it.
I never felt that. I did like a week on Twitch and I hated Twitch. And then Facebook I loved because I knew everybody on there, but at the same time, I've never had the support that I feel like I have on Kick. So I
I
loved Kick,
see.
and that's how I ended up over here.
Okay. So we love Kick, and we also got a little feedback that you're saying, like, unfortunately, I hate that we have to go through this oftentimes as women in streaming, some of the harassment that is
Mm-hmm.
specifically targeted towards us. But I find it
Mm-hmm.
very interesting because that's something that I feel like people complain about on every platform. It's going to be a thing. But that you
Right.
actually was like, you know what? I'm going from Facebook, which in my mind, I've never done Facebook gaming, but, I always think of Facebook as kind of cookie cutter, and my family and my church people are on it. So I'm just surprised that you would go from there and actually that Kick, which is always,
Mm-hmm.
in people's mouths about harassment and all this stuff, that you actually feel safer over here on Kick. Is that correct? You still feel
Oh
that
yeah.
way?
Oh, absolutely. And
Amen.
although those things happen no matter what platform you're on, but how the platform steps up, like I couldn't even reach a representative on Facebook. So what was one of the things that
Mm-hmm.
was happening that was affecting my pay was there was a man who was like a mid-sized streamer and felt that didn't take into account any of the work that I put into it, regardless of the fact that I probably doubled the amount of work that he put in over the 3 years.
No, you got to
Um,
work twice as hard for half as much.
exactly. He
Mm-hmm.
ignored that, and it wasn't just me, it was a few female streamers that he had done this to that I
Lauren's
know
face right
of.
now.
And he would go and he would report everything. So they would take away my
Oh,
monetization, and then they would owe me money, and then I could never reach anybody. But if I have a problem on Kick, if someone comes in or whatever and you open up that K and you
Mm-hmm.
go to Kick
yes.
staff, they answer you immediately here. That to me is extremely important.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Yeah, it's a
different
game
ballgame.
changer. It's a game
Yeah.
changer, and we know a big topic today, which we'll talk more about, was, how does the moderation team work here? Does it, is it
Mm-hmm.
too harsh? Is it too, what is it,
Mm-hmm.
too soft, or is it just right? And it's a very complex question that I feel like Eddie posed, that it's hard to answer without kind of giving some feedback to those responses. I feel like you don't get the full picture. But I too
Mm-hmm.
agree that just being able to click that K and get an immediate response really does make a difference. As for like when I was on Twitch trying to get a response about why y'all banned me for shimmying. I didn't know shimmying
Right.
was a thing and all. It took me like 30, 11 years to get unbanned and
3011.
Right.
get
I'm
somebody to
done. I'm
talk
done
to.
with you,
It was
Lauren.
30, 11. But let me listen. You might be done with me, but I'm just getting started with you, Chop. I want to know from you, where did you come from? How did you find Kick streaming? And then tell us a little bit about what you do for content out here in these Kick streaming streets, baby. Take it away.
So I actually started on Twitch. I started as a little variety gamer. Then I
Okay.
found Rust, which is a horrible game. Don't ever play it. If you have it on your computer,
I've
uninstall.
heard about Rust.
Um, I was on Twitch for 2.5, almost 3 years.
Okay.
I was really, really small. I started playing Rust. I fell in with other Rust creators, and kind of like what Shenanigans said, I got invited to creator events because I got told, I don't understand how your networking works, Chop, because all you do is talk shit.
Oh,
And I was like,
Lord have
well,
mercy.
I'm not gonna, I don't know who half these YouTubers are. I'm like, I'm just gonna talk to you as
How
they
I
are.
feel
I'm not
like
gonna
it,
put
right.
anybody on a pedestal.
Thank you.
When I was on Rust, because I was female, I got doxxed. I got hate rated. I had people take screenshots because VTubing is very new to me. I've only been VTubing for about 2 or 3 months now.
Oh wow!
I used to be a face cam streamer. They took screenshots from my live stream, and there's like clans, which is like groups in Rust. Made that their profile pictures in the Discord, would spam the Discord, would spam my stream, would spam me in game. My DMs had to get turned off.
What the?
I had death threats. I had pictures threatening to get leaked. It was a whole mess. And then I stopped streaming because it got so bad over there. And again, it was, hey, this is what's going on, message their customer service, nothing. And I kind of just accepted that's what it was. I would still stream, but it was very sporadic and it was without face cam.
Yeah.
Take about 8 months later, I'd done major creator events with them. I met one of my I had met my friend Coma, and he's a big YouTuber, and I met him. I was like, who the fuck is Coma? And I was like, I don't know who this is. Like, you're just a person to me. There is a certain Rust creator. I am not going to name names on this part. I went in and I made a joke that I shouldn't have. We were joking. It was like, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like we joke. He made a joke about chat reporting me. I got spam reported and I got permit. I had my name on Kick already because I got my name off rip on Kick because it's like, oh, Kick is starting. I'm like, oh, okay, that's new. I'm already over here on Twitch.
Right.
I will say I've grown faster on Kick than I ever did on Twitch.
Okay.
Good. I appealed my ban on Twitch. Within 30 minutes, I was pretty much told, we're not unbanning you. Oh. Even though I had statements from the streamer whose chat it was in. I had clips. I had statements from everybody. It was, no, you're permit.
You had all the evidence. Wow.
They did not care. And I will say 99% of the time with Twitch, you talk to a bot, you don't talk to a person. I went from almost, about 850 viewers, which to nothing. And in May, I came over to Kick. I had to start all the way over. I wasn't even affiliate yet.
Oh, wow.
But shout out to Trainwrecks who gave me my sub button early, which I know we talk about favoritism, but that person, because Trainwrecks, if you didn't know, he started in Rust. That's how I met Train.
You were telling us. And
Train was hysterical in Rust. Oh my God. That whole thing was funny. And he was like, yeah, just send me your name. And then I got my sub button early to kind of help give me a head start, which, that happens. I know there is the discussion of people getting verified and it's not consistent, but it's like, sometimes that happens.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I will say this, and it's, again, I'm a person, I was very early on this platform. I've been here before verification. I've been here as soon as they were starting the sub. I was here without subscription options for like 2 weeks. Then I got the sub buttons. I had to ask for mine. A lot of people were just giving them, even though I had better metrics in them. I had more followers. But whatever.
That's always going to happen, though.
Advocate for yourself. So you should advocate for yourself as somebody who's like, hey, you know what? Dang it! I had this whole huge community behind me already. I'm forced now to come to this new platform because I was done freaking dirty. Can you help me out? And if someone decides to help you out and you get fed, eat.
And like the person who reached out to Train was also the Rust creator whose chat it happened in, and Train was like, yeah, sure, boom. I had my sub button. That group, I was still talk to my friends on Twitch, but with Twitch's rule, I could not game with anybody that was streaming on Twitch. Because for them, that counts as ban evading.
Right.
So I got blackballed from all the creator events. Wow. I got dropped from an all-women's event instantly. And my boyfriend at the time was just pretty much told me to toughen up. And I was just like, that's a whole different topic, though, with partners that were not supportive of me streaming. And it was a lot of jealousy because I dated other streamers and it was, I'm growing faster than you are. And I don't like that. And then Kick started taking off. I will say, I think Kick is a lot more friendly to smaller streamers.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot. I don't I know people say less competition, but I don't think that's true. I think it's
Okay.
you have more of a chance to say, hey, this is me.
Yes.
This is what I'm
Big
about.
on. Mm-hmm.
I completely left the Rust community because I was like, well, I can't do any events.
Hell no. Yeah.
And the content world is so saturated. And there was, with that one Rust streamer, I thought we were cool. And then we turned out it was not. Me and his girlfriend had an argument. She started spamming my DMs, harassing me. I had to block her on 5 platforms. And it was the stuff that was vile. My kid was talked about. I was told I needed to go back to therapy. I was told my meds were not working, apparently. Like, absolutely disgusting, vile things. It was a lot. And it was, I lost all my friend circles overnight. Because it's like the people you really thought are going to be there. Where it's like, well, I can't game with you on Twitch. Yep. I lost everything.
They turned their back on you. It felt,
instantly.
Very telling. Yep.
But like within, especially the last 3 months on Twitch, like I met my best friend Opportunist, where I saw him in someone's stream, and I found him on VTubing where he was playing some zoo game and he was yelling at the NPC, and it was funny.
He is hilarious to watch.
And I had debated about VTubing because it was part of it is, I'll be honest, part of it is privacy and anonymity. Where it's like, no, it's not. If you want a face cam, that's awesome. But for me, it made me, because of what happened on Twitch, me self-conscious about how I was on cam. Where, like, as a female streamer, when you're a face cam streamer, it's your hair has to be done. Your makeup has to be done. You have to dress right. Everything around you has to be on point. And I think we get that a lot more than male streamers do. Mm-hmm. A lot more.
More emphasis on appearance. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it's, you're showing too much cleavage. You're not showing enough. You need to do this. You need to do that.
Oh, God.
But like with VTubing, there's still that whole issue. And Twitch is not friendly to VTubers. Let's be real. There was the whole Twitter thing. If you didn't know, there was #JusticeForHips because a lot of VTubers were getting perma'd on Twitch.
I saw that, yes.
That was because my model, it shows hips. If your model showed hips, or quote unquote too much cleavage, your partners were getting perma'd.
That
were on there for years. Mm-hmm. But the argument was they weren't held to the same standards as quote unquote flesh tubers, which is what VTubers call face cam streamers.
People, right.
And I will say, to touch on the moderation, I'll say this right now: Twitch moderation is not consistent. I do not feel it is. I feel it's a lot more consistent here. Where if you fuck up here, no, you're done. We're not tolerating it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on TikTok for a little bit. TikTok doesn't like me because I cuss too much. TikTok don't like that.
Like me either for that reason. And one time I also did a vape on TikTok. I didn't know. I said,
TikTok, you breathe wrong. You're not getting your live.
They're over you. And I had too much cleavage on and a shirt that I didn't even feel like was super low. I was like, really?
TikTok's like you. Like YouTube has its own thing, which YouTube has its own rules too, because I do stream on YouTube sometimes. Because if you're smart, you're multi-streaming. I'm sorry, if you're smart as a creator, you got to put your name.
Do it.
And in my opinion, because I also do make recorded content. I used to make 45 minute long Rust movies, which, God, I don't miss doing that. Girl, I would go through like 18 hours of footage. I made like whole long movies. I still talk to some of my friends from there because my friend Siege, he's a YouTuber, we still talk almost every day. And it was, I'm seeing people get unbanned or seeing people get their like 10th, 13th ban on Twitch and getting unbanned. Right. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And then I come to Kick. I met Oppie through Twitch, and then I met my boyfriend through, I met Oppie through Kick, sorry. I met my boyfriend through Kick because I randomly raided one of his friends. And we got to talking, and I went through a really nasty breakup, and he sent me animal pictures all day because he's a zookeeper. Animal pictures and videos all day to cheer me up. And then we found out he's talking about the zoo he works at, and I was like, wait, where are you? We live 12 minutes from each other.
Nuts.
And then I had a long lunch. It's like, okay, let's just meet up and see what happens. And I had literally just gotten a relationship. I wanted to be for the streets, Lauren. I'm going to go back. Hoe phase. 100%. I was going to be for the streets.
You know,
but no, when you find a man, when you find a man, because I have, Lord bless, number one Fuzzmas, because Lord knows I put him through it sometimes.
That's all right. It'd be like that.
But it's like, you know,
sometimes.
like when you have a man that you can be vulnerable with that is supportive and like my stuff's taking off. Relationships are not easy, and this is the first healthy relationship I've been in, and it's hard to learn with him. Arguments are okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part. He's super supportive.
Hey, man.
But Kick's been great. I met you from playing Among Us. Even though you like to smack me with batteries during lockdown.
You guys brought the violence out of me. I was like, my bad. I met Opportunist off of a tweet because his Discord link wasn't working. And I messaged him on Twitter. And like, I really liked his vibes because especially with creators, like, I'm not going to reach out to you first. I'm going to watch your stream and see how you act when you don't know. Yes, I do this, girl. I do the same thing. I lurk and twerk, and then I see right. Then I catch
okay,
your vibe.
What is your vibe?
Yes,
and then it's okay. I'll do you off stream and see how you act off stream as well.
Right.
Yeah,
because we'll broach that when we talk about other creators.
That is a big one.
Some people put on a persona on stream, and then as soon as they're off stream, it's a
whole nother
thing. Like VTubing's been great.
Yes, it is.
I think for me, it's made me more confident on stream and made my content better. Because it's still me, and it's like, and VTubers get a lot of hate, but it's like, no, it's still me. I just use an avatar instead of me.
And I've always loved, I didn't know about VTubing until I started on Twitch late 2022. I too was permabanned until I guess they decided to finally look at my appeal a year later when I said I didn't know that shimming at the camera was gonna, and saying titties for biddies, which I did do that. I didn't know that was a bad thing. I was just, people send me biddies and like, hey, titties for biddies, do a little shimmy. I didn't know it was crazy. Funny. And all my stuff was 18 plus. I'm over here thinking, this is adult and it's fun, and it wasn't even supposed to be like an over sexual thing. I thought it was cute. But apparently they did not.
I feel like on Kick, I can be myself more.
Yes,
because like with Twitch and like TikTok, you kind of have to censor yourself. Like, yes, you can get banned on Kick. Kick does ban people if you are on some bullshit. Kick is like, you're gone.
They will.
Like there's
and that's what I'm trying to tell people, that it's not just always like, people have this concept, especially because some of the streamers that, yes, we are aware of what kind of people have stream here, and
you can point that out about any platform. You can point that about YouTube, because we all know the real big YouTuber that got banned for being sus. We all know about that one.
Let's be honest, Kick is pretty new, so these people had to come from somewhere. So there is streamed other
Kick did not make these people shenanigans. They have come here, and some of them have found a place. But when you're doing something wrong, I've been banned. I had a little accidental wardrobe malfunction. I used to do pools and hot tubs. Had a wardrobe malfunction. Caught that one day ban, and I ate that shit. And yeah, I complained a little bit about it because I had seen a lot of other women drop their clothing and do it on purpose. And not be punished. And so I did raise a little bit of hell about that, but I ate my ban and I said, you know what? I'll get some cover-ups next time. That was my bad. I fucked up. But I know if I had been on possibly that purple app, then I'm like, I think it's time for you to really go this time.
Yeah.
I think it's good. All right,
I agree with shenanigans, like with Twitch, like you get a bot response.
Yes.
With
You'll
Kick,
never get a real person.
You get a real person.
Your taxes. I'll tell you that. I had to do my taxes on Twitch. If they did ban me on Twitch, and I get my tax forms, then I finally got a real person.
Twitch is much more clicky for me.
It is. In my opinion, I wanted to talk. I'm gonna touch base about that too, about kind of the differences on this platform.
And Kick actually likes their VTubers because they made Kick likes VTubers because they even made VTuber assets.
Yes, they did.
Point that out.
The little hats they did, and I think they're doing Christmas.
There's a blanket.
Yeah.
Come on, blanket. So they are trying. I personally love VTubers. I do have my model. I know it's not all set up and moving yet, but I do plan. And it's sometimes like you just said earlier, Chop. Trying to move into multi-streaming, and being on different platforms, putting yourself out there. It's been hard for me because I really have found a lot of safety on Kick. I was trying to do multi to TikTok, and like I was saying, I was getting banned, either my language or what I was wearing. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just safe. I feel safe here, even with all the bullshit I've
Same.
been through, being doxxed and all this other stuff. I still feel safer here than I do in other places. So I really appreciate you also speaking to the power of multi-streaming though, and putting yourself out there, because I do want to start trying other things.
I think it's more you have to make yourself stand out, because if you're only putting your egg in one basket, okay, you're only exposing yourself to that audience. But some people are like, oh, I don't want to do kick. Okay, that's fine. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I am here. I am here.
Right.
Or if God
saying hi, I'm in your face, and then
anything was to happen on kick, you're screwed.
Yeah, and that
and then if like
crossed my mind.
And then if like people are like, because like on my YouTube, I always plug my kick, like, oh, this is recorded live on kick, and they're like, oh, I want to see her stream, and then you funnel them back to the main one,
right?
I see,
because that's bringing new people into kick,
right?
And it's also multi streams of income, because it'd be hard out there.
Multiple streams, yes, it'd be hard out here for a pimp. PIMP.
I don't stop.
Girl, you talking about that when you got a whole baby.
What? Go ahead, Shenanigans.
I don't I have, and I do stream sometimes on TikTok and stuff. I generally don't always do it at the same time. Like I'll go on TikTok and stream, and I'll say, I'm moving over to kick, just to kind of drum up some people and then go over. So I'll do that. But I definitely stay very active on all of those things. So I put shorts on YouTube.
Yes.
I do reels on Facebook. I haven't really been doing Facebook as much because they really piss me off. And then, and then ever since I came to kick, I've really done like the TikTok though. I've constantly putting TikToks up on both my craft page and on my gaming page. And then the YouTube shorts they generally, do very well as well and get your name out there. But and all of the socials like Twitter, stories like Facebook stories and different things like that. I'm always very active on. So I think that's very important as well, that not just live streaming, but you have to stay active and get your name out there.
Girl, I be yapping on Twitter. I'm not even gonna lie.
Come on, and
I be on my bullshit on Twitter.
I do want to make sure that we talk about the Twitter of it all. So, if y'all don't mind, we're gonna shift gears for just a moment. We're kind of already on this train, so let's ride it out. So, I want to pose a question to y'all about, or just a general discussion about, how do you guys feel social media, the social media aspect of kick, influences either yourself as an individual on the platform or just the platform in general? Because the main spot is Twitter. Let's just be real. Twitter is where the tweets and people putting out information and talking shit about each other and all these different things. How does that affect the platform from your perspective? Let's start with Shenanigans and you.
I think that, so I actually have had my Twitch, when I think the anniversary the other day, it said 10 or 15 years. Like I didn't realize I had it that long. Wow. But I am older, especially out of like this whole group and everything. Like I am on the older side of gaming, which actually, in doing my research the last couple of days for this podcast, I did realize and did read that actually for female gamers, my age group is pretty close to average female gaming age. Okay. But I'm older. I'm like, let's be real. I started on MySpace.
Me too, but I was 12 on MySpace. So, I don't know. Yeah. I was 12 or 11 on MySpace. My little ass shouldn't have been on there.
So, and then I went to Facebook, and it was very hard for me to start on Twitter. I just started using Twitter for real this year. Literally in 2024. However, I absolutely love it. And I find that there are days that I don't even go on Facebook other than to check Messenger for my mod chat at this point. So for me, Twitter actually helps, which again, I've noticed that Kick as a platform on Twitter is way more incorporated into what their people are doing. Kick community constantly
is tweeting.
Right. But not even that, but they're recognizing my tweets. They're writing on. They're doing gifs back and forth. Gifs, or however you say it. I always say it wrong because I'm old. So
it's all right. GIF, however you want to say it. I know what we know what you mean.
I want some peanut butter now.
And there are not many platforms that are going to be that closely knit with their communities and their streamers.
Mhm.
Facebook
Yes.
and they would never do that. But you have like Santa Maria followed me last week. Like those kind of things didn't happen over on Facebook. You know what I mean? And so
Twitch doesn't do that either.
right.
Doesn't seem like it.
To me, that's a big thing for a platform, to be that interactive with their streamers. So to me, I feel like I have grown a lot on Kick, but also on Twitter. And I have
Yes.
met so many more people this year and network. Like, I absolutely love networking. I like going to hang out and meet people. So, like, I'm so
Yes.
excited to go to DreamHack this year.
Oh, it's gonna be so much
Shout out.
fun.
Yes. So,
Y'all
Shout
going
out, making my
represent. I'll be
boyfriend
having a
drive.
baby. Yes, y'all
Yeah,
be going
I
turning
know,
up. I'll be
but-
pushing one out.
We're gonna get a cardboard cutout of you, and we're just gonna bring you around everywhere, Lauren.
I would actually
Yeah.
would go crazy for that, but please don't.
So I personally think that the interaction between Kick staff, and the
Mhm.
people that are in charge of Kick and Twitter with us, I think is phenomenal. Like, I think that's a plus.
I agree.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword for some people. So for the things that
Right.
you say you love, for example, like you like that Kick community interacts, you like that staff is tangible and that you can see, like you can sometimes get an interaction from Santa Maria and Eddie and different things like that. I too think
Right.
those are great things. But then there are people that will take it and they will take it as, oh, well, Kick community only interacts with certain people, or they're only featuring this kind of person, like women, for example, which we'll talk more about the way women have been.
Right.
just
Girl, people are gonna
harassed
always complain
over the
no matter
last
what they
couple
do.
weeks. It's
True.
ridiculous. But I agree too, Chop and Shenanigan, that I like how accessible we are on Twitter. Unfortunately, something that happens in this space is that people also what's the word? They get too deeply involved, I'll say, in Kick. Kick Twitter is a thing. I don't know if
Yeah.
you
Oh, I
realize it,
know.
but
Kick Twitter is my favorite break time thing.
It is. It's a whole
It's
nother
so good.
monster from like the rest of Twitter, and you can
Oh,
either
Rust
use
Twitter
it for,
used to be a whole thing, Lauren. Rust Twitter.
the
Rust creators
OSRS
always
people be
arguing
having
on
their own
Twitter.
Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And I know some people have said that they actually don't like the social media aspect of they do. So Kick does take a bit of a consideration into your social media when they are looking for people that are partners, KCIP, whatever the case may be, verified. It's not to look at you like as though who you are in that space like directly impacts who you are on the platform. But let's be real, if you're talking about, certain things on your, like, say you, for example, just saying like, oh, I hate women are terrible, this and that, but you're not doing it on Kick, you're saying that on your Twitter. Well, I believe that the platform and the people that run it are a bit smart enough to realize, hey, people do also look at social media for the streamers, and it's not very representative of them or not what they want to be represented by. So we're not going to partner certain people. We're not going to put certain people out there because we want to be represented. They're a new platform. They want to be represented in a certain way. So I know some people hate that people take the social media aspect into consideration when it comes to these things, but I do feel like it makes a difference, and I feel like it matters. So
I think they're doing their job.
To touch on what she's saying, like, we're in a social media business. Kick, first and foremost, is a business. They will partner people. Like, it's a job. It's to make them money. It's kind of like when people are like, oh, I'm not getting sponsored, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, it's a business transaction. Like, I have, like, when I got signed to my gaming org, which shout out Inferno, I love y'all. They were really there for me when I got my ban. And everything. But it's like, I have a whole contract. It's a business decision. I am held liable for what I say on Twitter. It's like, it's a business thing because they're like, oh, like Chop went out and was saying all this crazy shit on Twitter and she streams on Kick. Oh, that's who they're sponsoring. That's who you're making the face of. It's business at the end of the day. And I think to be a content creator, like, social media is part of it. It's networking. It is networking without leeching. Let me throw that out there.
There you go.
Networking to truly meet other people. Like, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off saying this, Lauren. I'm not gonna tab up 50 of y'all motherfuckers just to get
piss them off. Piss them off. I love
No, I'm not gonna tab up 40, 50 people. I'm not. Like, I would rather have less people in my chat and have people actually talking
Thank
Which,
Agreed,
that's
you.
what
yeah.
you want to do. That's what you want to do. Also, my PC would fucking cry if I had that many tabs up, you know?
Same.
Right,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Like,
It's a
I want to
pre-build.
meet genuine people. I would rather, like, for
Thank
me,
you.
it is quality over quantity. When you're a content creator, you are a brand. How you
right.
act on other outlets, that is your brand. How you are on stream, that is your brand. If you are not streaming, honestly, you should be working on something else. You should be networking, like I had Deep Snipe tell me, he goes, go in other people's streams, like kind of check their vibe.
Yeah.
Also, I love me some Deep Snipe. He cracks me up.
Yes, I
You
coming in
meet
here too.
you meet genuine people, like, okay, and I go off of people. It's like, oh, okay, are you wanting to actually grow with other people, or are you just trying to keep everything for yourself and gatekeep?
Talk about
And
it.
it's, oh, I'm gonna come. I had someone come in my stream and say, hey, I'm about to go live. Just wanted to check in. I was like, motherfucker, if you are in my channel, it is about me, myself, and
Thank
I.
you.
It is
Thank
my
you.
channel. If I'm
Nothing
saying,
wrong with that.
hey, like Jana, like I'll ask Jana Ban, I'm like, hey, did you stream today? How was your stream? Like, if I bring it up, that's fine, but don't
Right.
come in on some bullshit.
Announcing, yeah, that because you know what that is, and you know we do allow self
I gotta
promo
change the battery in
personally
my
in my
headset so I can't
chat.
hear Lauren right now.
No, you're fine. But we do allow self promo in my stream. We usually initiate it, let people know, like, hey, let's do some self promo. Let us know if you're live, what you got going on, and we give people that moment. So that we understand that we are not trying to gatekeep. We'll never try to tell people like, oh, you know, if you see somebody, especially in the big, well, here's the big one with gifters. Oh my gosh, this person done gifted so-and-so all of this. And
Quit pocket
they
watching.
just trying to be friends with them because they gift all. It's just, it's the pocket watching is out of control. It's very territorial out here in these kick streaming streets. So we try to make it, open and welcome and encourage
there was
people to meet each other. But
actually-
that tabbing, baby, I can't do all the tabs.
I can't, no.
Yeah, no.
And
Not all
it's,
of them.
I am very, if we want to touch on the subject, I'm very wary of women, especially in the content
Okay.
creator world. Because
Talk about that.
with how women are, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, okay, are you being nice because you want to actually get to know me? Because I learned in the rest community because I became friends with more well-known people just organically.
Okay.
And they would be friends with me to get to my friends.
Yes,
Or
I've had that
when I
so many
started gaming
times.
with certain people on here, more people were coming to my chat. I was like, okay, so why are you here? What do you want?
What's the
And there was a
Uh-huh.
female creator that we were cool at first. It's like, oh, she's really supportive. This is awesome. We were all playing a game together one day, and y'all, I be talking some shit when I play games. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You know,
I'm be
we
talking my
see
shit.
each other,
I'm gonna be
man,
yapping
shenanigans,
because I'm
we
used to
all
playing with
know.
mostly dudes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna talk my shit. And there was an interaction that they didn't like something I said, and I'm like, I'm gonna talk shit, especially in FPS. Like that hits a whole different switch on chop.
Nerve.
They didn't like something I said, so they went to other people. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, I didn't like that Chop said this. I was like, no, if you have an issue with me, come to me. And so I messaged them, and I was like, hey, I heard you said that you didn't like something I say. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. Like, that was not my intention. I'd just be talking my shit. It's just pixels.
Yes. Right.
No response back. And I was told they did not respond to me because they did not want drama. I was like, no, I'm trying to address something.
Right.
Now, a lot of people in this space, first of all, I have never
Talk
had
about
trust
it, girl,
issues.
because
I've never had
see
trust
each other.
issues until the recently.
Mm-hmm.
And the gaming industry, not even just female male, the gaming industry, it allows people to be behind a computer and
say whatever they want.
Say whatever they want, whether they're married and they say they're not married, whether they
Girl.
do whatever, and they do not get held accountable because you're not one-on-one. So
yeah, and I think, like, for me, like, if I had an issue with Lauren, like, if Lauren said something I really didn't like, I'm gonna message Lauren and be like, hey, I really didn't like that you said this.
Please do, and be direct. And that's what that's the issue that I have. I'm always here when people have an issue with people. I'm always open to talk about it. I'm always open to listen and to be a person to lean on. I'm always open to that. But at the end of the day, we can only solve so much by talking about and not to each other.
Mhm.
So when we're not
Right.
talking to that person, and there's times that we try to talk to the damn person. We've done tried already. We done said, I wish you wouldn't do X, Y, and Z, or try to explain ourselves, and they just don't stop. And I think the worst
Yeah.
part is when you run into people that cannot just let bygones be bygones and just agree to cordially dislike each other. One thing that I've never done in all the people that have been nasty to me on this space and done these terrible things.
If you
talking
being
about my
nasty to Lauren, I'm
family,
gonna assume your calves little.
come on now, and it is from what I believe in my mind. But they've done some terrible things. But what I've never done is I've never gone out of my way to be like, Chop, oh my God, you're friends with so-and-so. I hate so-and-so. So-and-so did this and so-and-so is this and that.
What's funny is you
try
bring
to
that
drag
up.
them down. But some people will let you know. Let's put you up on game and be like, hey, this person has done me like this. I just want you to be aware of it. That's one thing. But there's people that will that just don't want you to like a motherfucker. There's people that will come to you and they just like, for me, for example, will come around somebody be like, oh, Lauren is fake and she's this and she's that, not want even you to get the opportunity to get to know me and interact with me for yourself. So there's a lot of that.
And
that
that's-
goes
It's
on
funny
here,
you
too.
bring that up, Lauren, because someone I am close to on here, I had that happen. Multiple people came to me. It's like, oh, you're hanging out with so-and-so. He
Here
did
we
this,
go.
and I was like, I understand that. I make my own decisions about people. And like that incident I
Thank
told you with the
you.
streamer on here,
That's how I am.
Yes.
there's still stuff said behind my
Right.
back. And it was causing stress with me and my boyfriend too, because it was it's been going on for 4 months that it was
Lord. Just
the back and
just
forth.
leave
And I'm
Chop
like,
alone. If you don't like
if you
it,
dislike me, guess
just
what?
move
Guess what? If you
on.
dislike me,
Fuck it, and move
I
on.
don't fucking care.
I'm the
Thank
same
you.
way.
Care.
Right.
But it's like someone I'm
Yeah,
close
just
to, they're
move
like, oh, you're
on.
hanging out with him? And I was like, yeah, I am. Like, oh, well, this happened. I was like, yeah, he already told me about that.
Thank you.
I understand that. And I saw the receipts.
Trying to
And
tell
my
you,
thing
But
is
it's
too,
like,
like-
my thing is, if I fuck with you and you're one of my close people,
Mhm.
you know that scene with like Ben Affleck when he's talking to his friends, it's like, we gonna get in some shit, and the other guy says, whose car are we taking? That is me. Like, if I fuck with you, like, nah, I will have your back. No matter, I
The
have literally
ROD.
hopped in a chat because someone was dogging
Let me
on
get
one
my
friend. I was like,
gloves.
no, we're not gonna do that.
Let me get my gloves.
No. Like, I'll pull my hair back. Like, we're not doing that. Like,
No,
that
not
person's
today,
not here
not
to defend
tomorrow.
themselves.
Here's my thing too. Well, number one, to step back on for a second.
Go ahead.
When you were talking about like using people, I have had that happen. And I have had friendships that I've had for a long time. But when I moved over to Kick, a lot of the times on Facebook, what happened was a lot of people were using their regular accounts when they're in streams. So I met a lot of very large streamers and had no idea because I didn't know. I was new to the scene. And I didn't know who they were. So those people, when they came to Kick and just like shot up even more, and I was modding for them and stuff, and they brought me over once I knew who they were. I would have people that would try to use me, and to get to that, I have walked away. I have turned around, not said a word again after being disrespected and used too many times, and just turned my back and walked away. And then, like we were kind of speaking this morning, Lauren and I, about another type of situation,
Right.
where because you have to know your worth. So to me, I
you.
cut it off. If I try to talk, if I try to address, if I try to correct for weeks, months, whatever it is, and I just am not getting anywhere, I just cut it off and walk away at
And
that
be done
point.
with it.
Right. But a lot of people in this space, and this, I guess, I don't know if it's a generational thing or if it's like a gaming thing. It's new
Right.
to me, regardless. With Twitter, especially and stuff, why do people take, like, if you and say Lauren and I get in a little disagreement, I'm not going to go post the shit on Twitter.
I'm going to say Lauren's right.
Oh,
I'm going to have a discussion with
that's
Lauren.
a smart thing to do, but I'm just
Like-
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like, why do people feel that they need to bash, and then they use like code?
Yeah,
It's like high school, that's all it is.
They subtweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either have the balls to say it to me or don't.
But you know what? You know what shenanigans? And I'm gonna tell you, like a real one told me. If somebody does not have the balls to tag you in it, because people even said Lauren in their post, but they don't tag Lauren-Shay LA. So okay, so you're trying to refer to me. I know you're talking Lauren, but I'm like, there's a million Laurens in this motherfucker. So unless you have the balls to actually tag me in it, I'm not going to take ownership of what you're trying to say because you're too weak and too scared to actually come to me or to call me out on my bullshit in front of everybody.
And I think women do that a lot more than men. Women do that a lot more than men do.
Yeah, I think like putting people on blast. So you think women put each other stuff out there
subtweeting because I think men are more direct. Like I have 2 degrees in psych, and like when we took social psych, we talked about the difference between how men argue and how women argue. Like women are very much more, I will socially ruin you. I'm going to spread rumors. Men are like, oh, we're going to directly do that. And I think one of the biggest things is I learned in Rust, where the main Rust creators, we were always in the same events. We were always around each other. Like there is a certain female Rust creator. I can't stand that bitch.
Right.
But we were cordial. Like we even had a talk. We were honest with each other. Like, look, I don't like you. Like we would be in the same events and we would be cordial because again, streaming, if you want streaming content creation to be a job or to be your main income, treat it like you would any other job. You still have to be
it is still
professional.
Right.
Like you can still be around each other.
Same.
I've had times where I would enter a VC and people would leave, and I'm like, "This is some high school shit."
It's
like, nah, my petty ass is gonna stay in that call when I know you don't like me.
There you go, and hold your ground. I'm like, we're too grown to be doing some of this stuff. But one thing I did want to say that Larry Moore was in chat, and he did touch on if somebody's doing something dangerous. Like we have had a couple creators who have literally scammed people out of money, that have scammed people, or that have been identified as possible child predators and things like that. We've had that unfortunately in this space, and so there are people that'll put you up on game and be like, "Hey," or the people that are racist. But here's my thing with the racist aspect, or that have said something racist before, is I still as a woman of color, and non-women of color too can also get with this. I still would give people a chance. Because people do change. A lot of people, I went to high school. I went to a very diverse high school. And a lot of people say a lot of crazy things to me. Call me Harriet Tubman. Call me Oprah Winfrey and Wade, Aunt Jemima. And they was laughing. And some of it was just thinking like that you want to touch your hair. They didn't know any better. They didn't know any better. And I had those same people at 14, 15 years old doing all that come to me as adults and be like, oh my God, I was a fucking idiot. Like my brain has developed and I'm so sorry that I said that to you. So when people come to me and be like, oh, well, so-and-so says something racist a long time ago, or they said something racist. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna give that person a chance to get to know them for themselves. They haven't done something racist to me just quite yet. But thank you for trying to put me up on game, and I will still move accordingly. So, but I do agree with Larry. If it is something dangerous or a safety issue, put people up on game and let us know.
I'm gonna say I don't subtweet. My ass will post screenshots if I'm talking about you. I will post the whole screenshot in a Google Doc. I do not care. Like if I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna stand on 10 toes and say it. But I think I'm very hot-headed normally. I think that's where my boyfriend kind of balances me out. Cause like back in the day, like, no, I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna pop off. Like I'm gonna say it. And then he's like, chop, no, stop.
Yeah.
But there are certain, and I think as a woman, we are held to different standards than men though. Cause like if men start arguing, it's no big deal. Or if it's, if a woman says something, she's being emotional. She's being a bitch. Like we're at different standards.
Is the big one.
But if we don't say anything, we're a pushover. If we do say something, was she on her period? You need some Midol.
Right.
It's so silly. It's like you can't win.
I have feelings. I have learned being older now, and also I have a daughter, so I have to set an example for her and how to carry herself. And it was like, no, if I have an issue with you, I'm going to say, hey, I will address it privately. There has only been 2 incidents within streaming that I posted screenshots. One was from me being harassed from that girl that I had to block on 5 different things because my child was brought up. And I will say in these arguments, don't bring up anybody that is not directly involved in that situation. Don't bring up kids. No.
Right. It should never, ever, ever be. I don't care what the situation is.
Come on.
And I think, and it was my best friend at the time, so she knew exactly what to say to hurt me. And like,
oh, that's sick.
And I'm like, if I have an argument, there are certain lines you don't cross. You know. I don't talk about people's bodies. That is one line I don't cross.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I don't do that. And I won't slut shame.
Never.
No.
Ever.
Like, I have friends that do OnlyFans, and I'm like, do you realize how much they make?
Them.
No.
And they live their best life. And we're not here to judge people in this place and in this space. Like, for example, we have our Kick Community Award show, and we do have a category for pools and hot tubs. And unfortunately, in that category, I've got a lot of backlash of, why is this a category? People,
because it is content.
Why are we celebrating? Because it is content. Because people are watching it, and because it is something that celebrates, to me, women's bodies, men's bodies, people, non-binary people. It's not only women. I know women are the big majority of pools and hot tubs, but it celebrates a lot of different types of people. People that like to dress in certain maybe more revealing cosplays, or whatever the case may be.
If that makes her feel like a queen, let her go off.
Let her feel that way. I used to do pools, and I was kind of like, I was a thicker girl in pools, but it made me feel like,
props to you. I love
confident.
That. I love
did.
That.
Thank you.
Like, if that's the content you want to
I'm embracing my body for the first time. I'm like, this is cool.
You're not being, a lot of the pools, they're not being hateful. There's a certain line when it goes into that other type content,
and there's other platforms where you can do that on.
Yeah,
and
if that's what you want to do.
Problem. Right.
And I've met girls that do pools and hot tubs. They're very sweet individuals, but that's the content they want to make.
Super.
But,
some of the nicest people I've met do pools or OnlyFans models or whatever. They're the nicest ones.
And like a topic that I wanted to touch on, like, it's also one of the problems female streamers have that men don't, is we have to be very careful about those parasocial relationships with our chats too.
Oh,
right.
Where men don't really have to deal with that. We have to be. I have had men in my chat that did gift a lot, and I owed them something like, no, motherfucker. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
And we have talked about where there's a thing where, like, I'm openly say that I'm in a relationship. I openly say that. I don't lie about it. Like, if you on one of these platforms and you are in a relationship and you act single on the stream, like, that's something I don't fuck with. That's very disrespectful.
You don't? And tell me why.
I think because I wouldn't want that done to me.
Have an agreement, though.
If it's an agreement, yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But like, for me, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I know there is a streamer who does do that and they have an agreement, but like, in my mind, like, I am proud of who I'm with. Like, like, I will shout from the rooftops, but it's I know guys will come in and be all flirty and like, I'll laugh it off once. But when I had someone come in my chat, it's like, oh, what do you taste like? And I was like, bitch, who the fuck are you?
And he
goes,
shut it down.
He goes, oh, I'm just bantering. I was like, no, that's not okay.
Right.
And like, there are male streamers who do get those comments, but I think it's a lot more.
They're more
on female streamers. And I get about once a week, someone comes in and comments on my VTuber model. Was like, oh, her boobs are moving, and I'm like, okay, you're 5, so
absolutely a pressure to sexualize on women. Absolutely.
Talk about that in the streaming space, shenanigans. Do you feel, how do you, because I've heard it from a lot of women. Do you feel like the women that do more, like, say, sexual type of content, do you feel like you have to do that to get more attention, or how do you feel about it? Because that's a constant discussion that people are feeling like, oh, I'm not getting on front page because I don't have cleavage. I'm not getting on front page because I don't have a full face of makeup or a sexy.
That's an excuse. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. That's an excuse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if that's the content you want to make, awesome. You don't have to do that, but that was also said in the Rust community as well, where it's, oh, you have to be sexual and be flirty. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Right. Like, some girls may have it, quote unquote, easier if they go the sexual route. There's always going to be that pressure because we have that in everyday society too.
Mm-hmm. I am just now getting to the point where I'm learning. Like, there was a point in the last 3 years of me streaming. I never went live. Like, I mean, it was very rare I went live without a camera. There was an absolute difference in my numbers from a camera to no camera. However, when I am live and I have the camera on, which is 90% of the time, up until recently, I always did my hair and my makeup, and I always wore the low cut shirt, and my numbers would be when I would do all of that, my numbers were about average of 40 viewers, which isn't horrible, and it's not as much as like Lauren, but
somebody being there is the bomb. Somebody being there is the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
if I so recently I've gotten to the point where it is what it is. This is who I am. I've gone with just my hair in a bun. I've done no makeup. I've done big hoodies with my logos on it. Yeah. And I just said, screw it. It is what it is. I'm going to stream more, and I can't put this show on all the time, every day.
I love that.
Come on.
Yeah. But the numbers are
get my hand
different.
on lashes today, and I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do? I'm like, girl, bitch, put some mascara on and get on the damn camera. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. So I've had those days now, and I'm okay with that now.
And I'm glad that you said that, those shenanigans, because there is a difference, and I hate when people sometimes I feel like I don't want to say the word is lying, but not transparent about it. But there is a very obvious to me difference that sometimes when the boobies is out, you're gonna get quote unquote, I'll say more people, but it's not always about it's not always about quantity, it's about quality, because it's about what you want to attract and what you want to be around. Because when I did do more streams where it was like a lot of cleavage, or when I did pools and hot tubs, you're inviting a certain energy into your space. Now, does it mean you deserve it? Does it mean you deserve to be harassed and people tell you all types of crazy shit? You don't deserve it, but because that is being more seen and more shown, you're inviting certain type of people to want to see you. I want people to be around me whether I got a fucking turtleneck on today.
I want that turtleneck,
or thank you. You know, it's the Sailor Moon theme. It's from Shein. I'll let you know. I'll send you the link.
I'm in head to toe Shein right now.
You know, I love this. So we got our turtlenecks. We have our low cut dresses. We have all types of things that we wear in here. But the clothes really don't make or break the streamer, but it also should not be the thing that defines you and who you are. Because people will look at you, see titties, and all of a sudden now you're just a slut and a whore and all that. And it's like, well, damn, maybe I just want to show on the hey today.
Yeah, like on the VTuber side, like with the models, there are some people who choose to have models that are more. Girl, I'm sorry, I got distracted by Lauren. Anyways,
my titties were quick. They were flop.
Girl, you know,
it happens.
There are people who choose.
That's
to
how
have
I had my nip slip.
More couple. I can't.
There are people who choose to have models that show more skin. Like there is. And there is a very fine line. There is a section of VTubers, also called lewd tubers, who want to go that more sexual route. Whenever I was looking through models, I was showing my boyfriend. I was like, what do you think about this one? And it wasn't that he is controlling. It is not that. It is, what do you think about this? It is more a respect thing.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl, he don't give two fucks what model he is. He do not care. He do not care.
Here's
but
the other thing, too. Like, people need to realize, too, like, yes, we have more pressure to be sexualized to kind of get that, to get ahead a little bit. And then men judge us for it and say, oh, well, like on Facebook, when the male streamer that was doing the stuff to me on Facebook literally would have conversations with me, like, because we used to be friends. And he would say, well, you're getting pushed that you don't deserve just because you're female. And I don't agree with that at all. However, what I have learned over here on Kick is that you need to be yourself. And if you feel good that way or whatever, you need to just embrace it. Like, I'm going to be honest. There are times where I have huge tits and I am going to fucking flaunt them if I want to.
Girl, same.
And there ain't nobody going to stop me. And I don't care what anybody fucking thinks.
There you go.
And I'm sorry
for
the
do
cursing.
with your body. No, girl, there's all kinds of motherfuckers being said on this podcast, and we ain't editing.
Men are going to be weird no matter what you wear. Let me throw that out there. No matter what you wear.
That too.
Yeah. So I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
On the days that I want to, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then on the days that I want to stream, but I don't feel like doing that, that's when I'm getting to the point where in my life, I'm comfortable to do it with no makeup, and on live stream, you're not filtered. You know what I mean? So it's no makeup. My hair's in a bun in a sweatshirt. And you know what? It is what it is.
And have a good old time on that camera.
You have to embrace it.
And then you too, with your model.
Right. And then with the pressure of sexualization, you can either fight it, you can deny it, or you have the choice to embrace it. I personally have chosen to embrace it. I don't go out there and wear like crazy things, and generally you don't see anything from below my chest. Like I almost never, I get up and I walk around. Like recently I'm comfortable doing that, but I never did that until recent. but I embrace it. So like I made it a part of my chat, and that's part of what keeps my chat going. If I have between 20 and 30 viewers, my chat is continually going because I have all kinds of funny
Right.
sexual commands.
Right.
And we're all
Mhm.
joking and I'm
Having a
saying
good
dumb
time.
things. Yeah, I've chosen to embrace it. So you
Embrace
have a
it.
choice in
Mhm.
what you want to do.
I agree. And I feel like along those lines, there's a lot of conversation, at least within the last 2 weeks, that I've been seeing about quote unquote, there's always conversation about favoritism in general. But there's conversations lately about favoritism towards women that either dress a certain way, maybe more provocatively, as some people might say, and some women in the space, and they've got a lot of men in their ear making them feel this way. I feel like is that like you're never gonna get front page if you don't have your camera on. You're not gonna get front page if you don't dress a bit more, like I say, maybe more revealing, maybe a little more breast or whatever the case may be. But I to the point where I'm like, I see no cam streamers on the front page all the time.
All the
I
time.
see VTubers all the time. I see women on the front. Shit, I don't know if I've been on front page today, but I know I've been on several times without nothing. But I've also worked my ass off for everything that I get here. So when people talk about partnership,
If you're boring with your titties covered, you're gonna be boring with your titties
your
showing
titties
too.
showing. Come on now,
I'm
you
just
better
saying.
teach them. You better
I think,
teach them.
Lauren, I
And
think
it's what you
part of
put
it
into your
is
content. Tell them.
you also have to set the tone of what's acceptable in your community too. Like if
the
you just
tone.
start accepting the guys coming in making the lewd comments, you're gonna keep doing
right.
that. Like
Some
someone
people are
random
okay
may come
with
in
it.
like, oh, that's okay. No, the fuck it's not. Like I said that to him, like, yeah, we may joke a little bit, but there's a line we don't cross. And it's if you make me uncomfortable, if you make someone in chat feel uncomfortable, I don't care how long you've been there. I don't care how many subs you've dropped. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
And like the parasocial thing where it's like, oh, I'm in your chat all the time, da 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 da. You kind of have to realize just because you're watching someone stream, like you don't know them as a person. Like you know them on stream. You know them as a streamer. My real life is in no way connected to my stream life. I do not mention. I've mentioned that I'm a teacher. I have mentioned that I have a child. You will never see my child on stream. For those who choose to do that, that is your choice.
That is your choice.
And again, with VTubers, if you want to have a model that has all this stuff out there, you go ahead and do it. Like I spent almost 2 months getting my new model redone because we kept adjusting it. And where I was comfortable, what I wanted to show. But it's like Shenanigans said, like there's still a pressure in the VTuber community to be more sexual, to have more sexual models, to have certain emotes. But artists now, I've seen a lot of VTuber asset artists where they're doing a less covered and more covered versions of assets, which is awesome. And people need to also realize with VTubers, like, yeah, I have a VTuber on here. I'm still a person. Like just because you don't see me, I still have feelings. I am still a person behind here. Just because I have a VTuber does not mean you can come in my chat on some bullshit.
No, people do forget. People do forget.
And like what you and Shenanigans both said, like, oh, I'm in chat. I can say da 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 da. I was like, I know you sure as fucking gonna say this to my face.
My mom,
but I think
never will.
So
as a female streamer, I warn new streamers, you got to get a really thick skin. Yeah, you have to get a very thick skin. Like people are gonna come in and say some bullshit. Yep. You're gonna have people come in and being sexual, and it was.
And
no,
you
that's
just
not
have
acceptable.
To take it on the chin sometimes and be like, you know what? I know you're going to do it. Once you do it, now I set my limitations. And some people's boundaries are different than others. I've had people that have cut some ties with their community because they've allowed their people where they host me or they come in and they allow their people to try to talk to me a certain way where I'm like, now, girl, you know how I get down in here. You know I'm not cool with that. And then you're trying to defend the way they're talking to me and you see I'm not liking it. That's not cool to me. So you do set the bounds. You set the standard. I want to go back to something else that you had said, Chop, earlier about the gifting as well. You do set the standard and the tone with that because I too have had gifters that do get possessive and believe, especially when I was single. You're like, oh, why are you calling this other person listen, daddy, I gave you 30 subs. You're not supposed to be I can call whoever I want, whatever I want, whenever I want. You don't all of a sudden own
Girl,
me
I
because you
know.
gave me 30 gifted. Now you own a bitch, 1,000 gift, whatever. You don't own
And I
the
remember
person. But
when
some people
Miss
let them treat them like that and they see you give more money, more gifts, and people are
setting that
responsive
tone.
to it, and you're setting the tone for that to invite that energy. So you got to be
And I
careful
remember
where
Miss
you're
Savage,
borderline.
when Miss Savage was doing her subathon, she had people
Shout out to
come in her
Savage.
chat and they're like, how many subs to Torque? She goes, none, because I don't do that fucking shit. And I
That
was like,
part
okay,
right
because there is
there.
that pressure.
And I
to be
used to.
sexual. And like I met Laura the Explorer on Twitter when she was ranting on Twitter, which I love Laura.
Yes.
I love Laura. But it's also like you're responsible for what goes on in your chat, in your community. Like
right. And what you allow.
I am different from some other streamers. If you come in on some bullshit, like you already know what you're doing, you're automatically gone. Like ban off rip. That is just my rule in my chat. Because you know better,
I think
and you're coming in like that. Like, no, I don't even want to deal with that. No, you're gone.
Yeah.
I think it's important too as female streamers
Perfect
to have mods that like I said, my mods I have been very close with for a very long time. So like Courtney and Sir Sharkbait, for example, years I've known them. So in person and everything. So they are very good. And Mama OG is another one. They know what I will tolerate and what I won't. And actually they probably tolerate less than I do. I'm going to be honest. But it's very good
My
because
mods do as well.
yeah, they're the first line of defense when it comes to that. Because a lot of times you're playing a game or doing whatever, you don't even recognize what's happening like immediately like that. So my mods are very good at the ban. Like they'll time, and I ask them first, like time them out before you ban them because I want to double check what's happening before you just go ban happy. You know what I mean? But it's very important to also have a strong team that knows and understands what your limits are and and for you as a streamer to express what your limits are, what you expect and what you need to happen while you're in game or whatever it is in the chat. So I think that's very important as well.
And just having those conversations. Like I have Darlie in the chat saying, I tolerate more than I used to, who's one of my mods. And it's true. It's true because we have allowed people to come in and say a little 2 cents. And don't forget, them trolls, yeah, they nasty and they terrible and all that stuff. But some of them, if they, just coming in saying something stupid, give them a little bit of time to check because you get your unique chatters up. You get your, for KCIP, you get more, I'm just being transparent. The more unique chatters you have, the more money you get per stream. That's true.
Right.
For KCIP people. So I'm like, let them people say a little something. Let them do.
Yep.
And then we go ban the ass and be like, bye-bye. See you next time. Or see
and like
never.
For me, like when I say I ban off rip, it's certain comments if you come in and see they're overly sexual. Like, bye-bye. Like, no, we're done. You come in talking about my model, no, you're done.
Yeah, right.
Two of my mods have actually been with me for 3.5 years now. So they know.
Wow. They know.
They have been with me through Twitch. They have been with me through TikTok. They are on my YouTube. Like they know what I do and don't tolerate.
Yeah.
And like
that's
someone
important.
new came in and they were being sus and they automatically got timed out because that is also now that my content's getting more momentum, like when you're aware of more new eyes coming in, like you have to set the tone of what you want your community and your brand to be. Represent. And like I've said, there is a lot more pressure on female creators. A lot.
And it can lead so I generally don't have too many issues, but there are issues when it comes to this. So like I have had people in the past that again have gotten very territorial, even though I was not like that with them. Like when Sharkbait and I first started, when we were talking, and there was this person who I am close in proximity mile-wise to them. They're a town over. They took it to an extreme where they were harassing us. They were threatening me to the point where last Christmas, I'm not going to lie, I bought a gun because the guy's local. Yeah. So it is a serious thing. You have to have those boundaries and you have to set that tone. I will never allow that person who is still out in the streaming world causing a ruckus with all kinds of females. I will never allow that shit back in. So I banned even like his name in the words.
Yes. I go all the way with you too. We never want to see you again. Ever.
You ain't coming back.
I preemptively ban like if I see someone in Lauren's chat being on some bullshit, like I ban in my stream. I message the people I mod for.
Yep.
No. But then an opportunist is one of Girl, Oppie's one of my mods, so I already know. You're gonna be gone. Like
But yeah,
someone came in and he automatically was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that shit."
He's like, right, I'm done with it. Yeah, and then we also want to, and it is true that you want to make it comfortable for other people. So some things, I might be okay with a little something, a little a little hey, but you want your community to feel comfortable too, because everybody can feel it's an energy exchange. The whole time y'all are doing the stream, it is an energy exchange between you and everybody in chat and the lurkers and all that. You can feel the energy. You can feel when the person's energy shifts. You can feel when they're having a low energy day. You can feel it all. So I do try to, like you were saying, Chop, just kind of set that tone, set that boundary, and be like, if it's something that I just don't fuck with off top, just you're done. You're done. And that's a great way to moderate, because again, we do go through different types of trolling versus the men and non-binary people and all that stuff. Being a woman in this space is very unique. Being a Black woman in this space, being a woman of color in this space, being a VTuber in this space, whatever the case may be, they all come with different sets of challenges that more people do realize.
I got lights.
Like I've had
everybody.
people
I got
say,
lights.
"Oh, you use a VTuber model because you're ugly because you don't like how you look." I was like, "No, I just don't want to be on cam, girl."
Yes, right.
Like, girl, no, I'm fine as fuck. I am fine as hell. I am confident in myself.
I'm like, oh damn, you hiding all this beauty from the world or whatever. Like, okay,
yes, I am.
Being assumptive.
It's just I think the hardest part of when I also came off Twitch was I was solely a Rust creator for 9 months. That was the only content I made. I think that's also hard when you're shifting off of one game. And if you choose to make your content only on one game, that's your choice. But I think the smarter thing is when you build your community like on only Apex. Girl, Apex be stressing me out. I don't want to play Apex every day.
Y'all be telling me about the Apex and I be watching.
I need to see Lauren play Apex. I think that would be absolutely hysterical.
I leave that to y'all and Extremely Cold. I know she's one of the queens on Apex. Y'all do it.
My community's been very supportive where it's like, hey, if you want to play this, that's fine. But you kind of have to build your community that way too, where if you swap off of a game, your numbers are going to dip. Girl, I also had to stop looking at my viewer count. I know it's hard.
Please do.
Not looking at those numbers. And I had a comparison where someone who started streaming after me, like they shot up, but they were building their community in a different way than I was building mine.
There you go.
And it's also, I have my people that I know are going to be in there no matter what.
No matter what. The faithful is going to hold it down with you.
Yeah. And it's like, if I want to go play Stardew Valley, I can. Girl, I'll be putting out these stream announcements then. When I'm about to stream, I'll be like, look, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I don't feel like playing that.
I don't feel like playing that. I understand.
I don't want to play that.
I'm like, well, I don't want to do Fortnite today.
Like, I never wanted to play horror games until I started playing with Opportunist.
And you guys vibe on it.
We vibed. And it's also, it was hard for me. I felt like I had to always make content with other people because I didn't feel like I was good enough on my own. I think a lot, sometimes it's that imposter syndrome where, like Shenanigans said, like there's pressure to be a certain way. And I believe Kick is a lot more open to different types of creators.
Yes.
Or like, look, there's Red, who's an amazing artist, and like she's doing her thing out there.
Wow. Yeah.
I love her. That is my favorite chill thing. And I think Kick is more open to gaming content, to IRL content.
Yes.
To whatever you want to do. Cooking content. If that's what you want to do, you go do that. Versus some other platforms where it's like, no, you only have to play these certain games and that's it.
And you get boxed in and you have to enjoy what you're doing. People can tell when you're not actually having a good time playing the game or just trying to fit into certain spaces. Like, I'm not to say that, like, you know, Call of Duty and Fortnite and all that stuff. Those are the big some of the bigger categories. Fortnite, I never really got into. I never really wanted to do it. I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer shooter person. I do like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Mario Party. Like those things are JRPGs. I love me a Final Fantasy, a Kingdom Hearts. Like that's me, and that's what I play. And I've played those games for a long time without giving a fuck who wanted to watch me play him or not. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. If y'all want to watch it, cool. If not, that's fine too. But when I got with JoJo, y'all know JoJo is my fiance and my baby daddy. He started off modding for me early on Kick. So I too have a relationship that came out of being over here on Kick streaming, and a child that is now coming out of being here on Kick will get you
and make you move to Kentucky.
He will, and it sure did. And it will make you get on Fortnite because he was playing Fortnite. And I was like, well, I want something that you and I can grow and do together.
That's what Apex was.
And that's how you got into it. But you enjoy doing that. I feel like some people feel like, oh, I have to play Fortnite because it's a big popular game. I'll get more eyes on me. I have more chance of being seen because it's this. I'm like, I hope you actually like Fortnite. I like you
Fortnite
genuinely
until
like
I don't.
There you go.
I like
when you're tired
Fortnite
of playing
based
that
on
shit,
who I'm
go do
playing
something else. Yes,
I think a lot of it is there is that pressure, which one thing we'll talk about at the end, because the front page has certain games. Yeah, and there is the pressure to play those certain games, and I did that for a while. I was miserable playing Apex and shit. Apex be pissed. Apex is why I broke my mouse. I'm gonna be 100% with you. I broke my mouse. I can't ping nothing no more. More people will go to your stream if they see you're having a good time. If they see you're having fun. Girl, I be singing the Backstreet Boys on my stream and like pausing my game to be singing I Want It That Way. You need to just have fun.
Honest, you gotta make it fun. Yeah, exactly. Because like with Fortnite, I'm not good at it. Like I'm not horrible.
Girl, I suck.
But
me and Lauren were both dancing and emoting in the house. We have fun
together. But we have fun doing it. Shenanigans does, and Shenanigans be carrying when she play. If we was like, I'll bet JoJo got it. We'll be okay.
Be like, JoJo got it. JoJo help. JoJo help.
JoJo was 4v1 and motherfucker. He was like, help. We couldn't do the OG anymore.
And
it was
I think
too much.
and I've even told like, oh, why are you playing this game? Nobody plays it. I was like, because I like it.
Yeah,
I know. But
play
you have to have
every day and be walking around in a pretty dress. And my boyfriend even asked me, he goes, what's the point of this game? I was like, I don't know, but I'm happy. I'm petting dogs. I'm making cute outfits. I'm happy.
My friend Opie, who's been playing with me a lot, she'll just run me over with cars. Like we just joke around and goof around. And us having fun is what my numbers are so much better when I'm having fun and in a good mood. And like it reflects.
It does.
People don't want to watch someone.
It's all symbiotic. Exactly. And some people like that. But the more comfortable it feels, the more fun for a time. The more fun you're having, the more fun usually the people
like I know this person is on Twitch. But I was telling my boyfriend the other day, like Queso's a perfect example. Like he's playing these indie games and these tiny games. He's having a grand old time. And people gravitate toward him. And he's built his community on him and his energy versus a particular game. And I think, and I know it is, well, oh, my Fortnite numbers are higher. Oh, my Rust numbers are higher. Girl, Rust be stressing me out. Rust took like 10 years off my life.
You done talked about Rust today. I'm like, I will never play this game in my life.
People on my Kick were like, well, you need to play Rust. I was like, you realize how many subs I'd have to get for me to even reinstall it on my computer?
1,000 subs or nothing.
It's not fun. It's never happening for me. I don't have a good time.
I don't know.
Like, I'm going to play Genshin Impact.
Oh, good. Okay, good. You got your power back on?
Oh,
good Lord. Amen. Look,
but I think you have to build it
on a flashlight.
I got lights.
The best advice I got as a newer streamer was you better get real used to talking to yourself. That's why I like playing JRPGs. Girl, I be simping over those anime men. I'm not even gonna lie.
I do the voices and everything when I be playing.
You like JRPGs, right?
Yes, I do. Please
you need to look up Scarlet Nexus. It is a smaller
stream, and I finished it on stream. I tell you,
girl, I love that. I be simping over them anime men. And then my boyfriend's in chat like he ain't got shit. He ain't shit.
Oh my god, y'all know for the people that's been rocking with me, y'all know I played Scarlet Nexus all.
I love that game. Such a good game.
It's one of my favorite ones too.
I'm doing I need to get back on my replay.
Yes,
There's a couple
I'll
other
tell you
I
twice
need to
as well.
send to you. Some JRPGs that are really, really
Please
good. That I'll send to
do,
you.
and we'll take them. And I know that people like is anybody looking for the Scarlet Nexus category?
Girl, I don't know. But I
they're
like
not.
I like
But
looking at them
No.
anime
one
men.
thing that I have asked for,
don't
and
know
I
what it
wish that
is.
they would do this with more people. Like there's a whole VTubers category, which is phenomenal. But I wish there was for those of us that do play JRPGs and different games like that. There was just big categories like that. Just
I
those
wish the
type of
categories would
games.
rotate.
Yeah, and that
I
they
wish
would
the-
rotate and
and
be
yes, I
featured,
understand
not just
coding.
COD all the time.
I understand.
Yes, right.
Girl, I only go on to COD to make men quit my lobbies by hurting their feelings. I'm going to be 100% with you. I be talking about people's
I'm
mamas.
not a COD person.
Oh, no. Proximity
I
Chow is
can't. It
my
makes me
favorite thing.
dizzy.
No.
It makes me.
Black Ops
it makes
6
me
has
real
body
dizzy and
shielding
nauseous.
where you can grab other people.
Yeah, me too.
Where you can grab other people. Ooh, that shit's so funny. That shit's
On COD?
hilarious. Oh, yeah.
And you
I'll
can
be body
have,
shielding and be
like-
you seem like you need a hug. Why are you so angry? Let's talk about it. Girl, I'll be making them men mad.
Everybody I see play COD is so angry. Everybody.
I was like,
I
have
think
enough
you have
anger
to play it
problems
to
go
not take
around
it
for all of
seriously.
us.
I wish one feedback I do want to give about Kick, like that front page, like not everybody plays those games. Like I understand coding wise, like that would be a lot.
Yeah.
There should
And
be
it's
like
okay.
rotating. Apex is not even on the front page. And I know some
I don't think I've
absolutely
seen
amazing Apex
Mhm.
creators. There are
yeah.
other games, or if it's an indie game category, there are some bomb indie games.
And
Or
I don't
this.
think there's a problem with picking one
Okay,
game and
indies,
sticking
yeah.
with it.
Mhm.
Girl, I
But
can't.
you
My
need-
ADHD don't work like that.
Well, I mean, like certain people, they do that, and that's all they do, though.
Right.
I think that you still need, even if your core game, you have a core game, I still
Right.
think you need to try different things and see
Yeah.
if you like anything. And just like try, like with us with Among Us, we had a freaking
had
blast.
so much fun. Shout out to
Yeah.
Shiro for putting that together.
That's, I mean,
W.
that, I think,
Shiro, even
qualifies
though we kept
sometimes.
killing her off rip, and then Lauren would yell
I
at us.
love-
Yeah,
Oh my
Shiro
God, I
was-
felt
I
horrible
was
the first time
y'all
I did
need to
it.
stop killing the host. This is the damn host.
I did it the first time, first game, first kill. I was
Dude,
like,
Shorty be fucking me
crap.
up.
It's a Shorty
That's
was
how
so
I met.
funny.
Me and Shorty live in the same city. I found that out
God,
Oh, really?
She's
We
another
live-
sweetheart.
until she not.
That's
love her
Shorty be
too.
fucking you up.
I
Fucking me up. in
She
mine.
will. She's like the woman.
We got
from,
locked in the room.
Wicked,
We got locked in the
like
room,
a
and I'm like,
Glinda.
oh nah. I was like, oh no, I'm done. But I think you
she
have
was
to,
very
and there is
devious
a lot
during
of
Among Us.
there is a lot of pressure on this. Like you have to find your place in your content, and you
Right.
have to stick with that because
That's important.
especially I've seen this on VTubing where there was an incident where someone that Lauren and I know, like they got a model off Etsy. Girl, these VTuber models be expensive.
Yes,
Yeah, they are. I
love
it.
it.
Yes.
Like Iron Mouse's VTuber is probably about $4,000 to $5,000, easy.
Wow.
Yes,
That's more
for
than
the level of rigging,
all the movement and
Yeah.
Mhm.
and the art.
Wow.
There are some that
Jesus.
are quote unquote AI generated on Etsy, but not
Right.
everybody can afford a $400, $500 thing.
Talk about it.
Girl, let me tell you, my model right now
Dude, not
was
this
$5. $5.
Really?
Girl, I got it off a Japanese website.
What?
Oh, that's the one you
It
sent
looks
me, right?
Mhm.
I looked at them too.
expensive to me. I was like, got me thinking, I'm like, dang, she must have paid.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know,
Shenanigans
a couple
told me she wanted
$100
a
for
model. I
that.
was like,
Wow.
look, look, this place is
My model was
this-
$5.
Girl, that's
I
like when
just-
I get a dress, be like, I got it at Goodwill and it has
Me
pockets.
too. And right, this book is we
Yeah.
got all the wins.
I
in
think
one,
it's
one.
I don't care.
dress.
Not everybody can afford that. Some people may do
No,
a
hell
PNG
no.
tuber, which is
Right.
it's not moving around quite as much. Like what I use is a live 2D model. Like people like
Yes.
Opportunist use a 3D model.
Yes. The one
And
I
it's
have
just
is
let
flat,
people
I
be
think.
people. Like if you want to use an
Yes.
AI model to start, everybody has to start out somewhere.
There
And
you
who
go.
And
cares?
everybody going to come in on
Right,
some
who
bullshit about your
cares?
model.
Why is it
No
my
matter
business?
People are going to come
what
in on some
model
bullshit on
you
your model.
choose? Yeah, that's
Mhm.
the
And it's
thing. Like,
I think there is some elitism in the VTuber community, which I am still new, but I've seen, you need to use this type of model. You need to do this. You need to get a custom model. There ain't nothing wrong with using a pre-made model. There's some cute as fuck ones on Etsy.
Yes, I'm
I
sure
would
There's
there
some
not
cute
are.
model on Etsy.
if
Like
I'm
I
sitting
can
watching
send Lauren
you,
some cute as fuck ones.
yeah. If I'm
I
watching
see
you,
nothing
I
wrong
have
with
no
that.
idea where it came from.
Right.
Um,
like I said, I was like, I looked at shops
people
and
don't
I
know.
assumed it was hundreds of dollars, or
And
'cause I
it's
just
the same
know
thing
it's
with-
expensive to make those things.
Female creators where it's like there is room for everybody to succeed. Like they don't have to succeed
there
in the
is.
way that you succeeded or the way that you think they should. Like, everybody has their own path. And like, yes, I know there is argument about AI generated art. I know there's that. That's a whole separate argument.
That's a whole nother
I mean,
podcast.
it'd be hard out here for people. Like,
Yeah,
VTuber models, like mine, I was on a payment plan, which some artists will do a payment plan.
Amen.
But again, it is.
Mama
and I'm looking at your chat. A VTuber. I use a animated model instead of my face.
Go to her stream and you'll see it too. Look up Exo Chop and you'll see her model.
And there are some games I switched to my PNG tuber, which is for static pictures that move based on me talking and blinking because my computer be crying.
That's how mine is.
Some people use a person. Some people use an animal or quote unquote furry. Some people want to play a character on there. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I think
live your content your way.
Exactly. There needs to not be elitism where it's, I'm only going to fuck with you if you use a $5,000 model. You going to hand me the $5,000 to do it?
No?
Okay,
Come
shut the
on
fuck
now.
up.
Come on. And that's something that we need to step away from, not only in the VTuber community, but as a streaming community. I don't want to say it's just a kick issue, but there was something that was brought up today when I was talking about, how we treat each other in this space. And some people were saying that, or one person said, one way that they would like to see a difference is maybe taking away the phase partnerships. For those that don't know what it is, for example, I was in the first class of people that were chosen to be partners on this platform. So there was like a couple people that was just given individual contracts, and then there was a group of us, of 33 of us, that they gave contracts to be like, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars for X amount of hours. I saw Majin in the chat. He was one of them as well. And there were 3 of those. So people were saying, well, without those groups of people, then it would be more fair, or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, well, I don't think that's the problem is not the issuing of the title, it's what people are doing with them. And you've had people that now have become very territorial, or they become very to themselves. They can be very gatekeepy at times because they feel like they Beyonce and they feel like they Denzel and all these people. And I'm like, no, baby,
Beyonce be looking kind of like a hot mess lately. So,
listen, we can't talk about the Beyonce and Jay-Z of it all. It's a lot going on in their world. It is a lot going on in their world.
I said what I said.
But people really do get in their head about even Kai Cenat. This is never to take away Kai's flowers. Kai is phenomenal, and he is known by
made his own brand from nothing.
People. Yes, he has. He's known by a ton. Like, millions of people know who he is. But would I put him on the same level as somebody who's known as much as Michael Jackson or
Absolutely
Leonardo DiCaprio? These are just people. They're just more well known. So it doesn't mean that they're not.
It's still a niche community.
Amazing. Streaming in general is still exactly like you're saying. It's still niche. We know a lot about each other. We know each other as creators and all this stuff. But motherfucker, don't nobody go down the street and be like, oh my God, it's Lauren-Shay LA.
I would do that. I would do that.
But and you would do that, and I would love and I would appreciate you. But we gotta really just treat each other like we're all on the same team, because we really are.
One thing I want to point out, and I'm gonna piss off some motherfuckers again. You don't need a check mark or KCIP to make content.
No,
you can make content.
No.
You don't need the front page to be successful.
No, I've never
see that. I've been on this front page twice for Valorant, and I suck at Valorant. Let's be real.
That's okay.
Worry about yourself. All that energy you're putting into complaining, you could put that into your content.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
If I get stressed out, I turn on Infinity Nikki and I do
content without bringing other people down, and that's the sad thing. That we see a lot when we were talking about Twitter earlier, is that people will take like, oh, well, this person is botting and thotting. And let me say something about y'all motherfuckers be trying to call people out for botting and thotting and doing all that stuff. Y'all be the main ones botting. That's the crazy. It to me, it'd be like, okay, if it's somebody who we clearly see is never doing botting and is never having this, and I'm not dumb. I know that there's additions and things that the different platforms fluctuate things and all that stuff. It's just, if you want to be blind to it, be blind to it. But I know what I'm looking at when I see.
You can either make an excuse or just be better.
Or just be better.
I'm just saying.
That's the craziest thing to me, is the same people that be saying, oh, this person is this and this person. I'm like, baby, you done taught motherfuckers how to do it.
Right.
It's just crazy to me. But that's why I say focus on what you are doing. Focus on what you can control. You can't control somebody else buying. You can't control a
Correct.
certain person getting put on the front page and you're not. You cannot control that. All you can do is advocate for yourself. And so I do want to make sure we switch to one of our final segments, which is the highs and lows of Kickstream and how we can advocate for a better platform. Mind you, everything I'm about to discuss for the next few minutes is going to be shared. Just we're going to take clips from this part and make sure we share it directly with the staff. I do try to let different staff know, whether it's Sergio or Santeria, give some feedback directly to support@kick.com. And I say, hey, here's just some general feedback from X, Y, and Z streamer to that we're doing well and that they feel like we could do better. So I'm going to start with shenanigans, and I want to ask you, Queen, what are some of the highs, and we'll call them areas for growth? Not to trigger you. Not to trigger you, child.
Tell me, we're going to do an icebreaker.
Girl, no, I'm going on bathroom break until this shit's done.
Go ahead. So, Shenanigans, highs and areas for growth for Kickstream, and give it to us, baby.
Who is it, me? Shenanigans?
Yes.
So, well, the good parts of it, like I said before, is a lot of the interaction with the Kick and the Kick staff. Like on the 2024 Community Awards, the only thing is like we have that for the Kick staff, but I don't know all of the Kick staff and who it is.
Okay.
So it would be good if they kind of, even if we're not getting front page and stuff, if I saw them more in chats, I would kind of know them a little bit more. However, they are by far blowing other platforms out of the water when it comes to that. So the fact that we have the contact that we do with them now is a 1,000% better than any other platform. Yeah, so I do think that that's a high, but also kind of a low, because they do tend to stay. There are some favorites, and I get it to an extent. And then there are some people that are chronic complainers, and I feel like they do things for these chronic complainers to boost them up and basically to shut them up. And so that's really where I get irritated. I don't care that you have favorites, because let's be honest, a lot of
every platform does.
And yes, and a lot of the favorites are partners, phase partners, and KCIP. The company of Kick is putting money into these people. They're going to promote them.
That makes sense.
Do you think they're going to? Yeah. So you got to figure. They have 9 slots on front page at all times. Right. They scroll those 3, 3, and 3. You are going to promote partners. You are going to promote KCIP. I don't see your contracts. I'm going to assume some kind of promotion is in there somewhere that you're going to get this, because they're putting money into you.
Just to be transparent, it's not no contract, nothing. I'm not on contract anymore. I was on contract when I was partnered, but they told us straight up, if you are partners on the platform, we are looking at you guys as the people that we want to represent the platform. I've said this a bunch of times, like when you go to Target or you go to Versace, or even like we brought up earlier, Goodwill. You're gonna see the stuff that they want to see on display, and they want you to be interested in and all that stuff, or they want to get you to come and actually look into the store. That's what they're going to put 9 times out of 10 on front page. That could be somebody who has 10 viewers, somebody who has 1,000 viewers, whatever the case may be. They want it to be when somebody clicks on Kick, they see this person, and it's like, that's different, or that's interesting, or there's something that might speak to me individually. So, and they do, like I said, they told us that, yes, y'all are going to be featured more than
Business
others.
101. If they're putting money into you, they're going to promote you. They want you to do well. They want you to
It's the same as people paying for ads on a billboard or in a magazine.
Yes.
So for people to get upset and mad about that, I'll never understand it.
You know,
however,
because people be yapping instead of making themselves better and admitting that they're the problem.
Correct. Yes. Instead of working hard and trying to get in there.
Lauren, I hear Lauren humming.
Yeah,
I know what that means.
So that only leaves like a certain amount of spots left throughout the day for smaller streamers. But I've seen them put like Show Me OG, who was just in your chat. He was on there
featured. Yes,
correct.
A week ago,
about 2 or 3, I think. But like, still, it's cool. Like Country Guy USA, they've been putting him up because he's doing something different. Yeah, he's doing the woodworking. Correct. He's standing out. There are people that are putting the work in and that are getting on there. It's just not as prominent because they're not putting money into them. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're still trying to promote them. And there's more of us that have to get filtered through that smaller amount. So I think that
Yeah.
a lot of streamers need to understand that. Start doing the networking, start doing the work. You can't just go hit live and expect to get on front page. It just doesn't happen.
Wait, that's not how it works? Shit.
No.
Teach
My
them.
bad.
I
Teach
spend more
them.
time doing stuff behind the scenes than I do streaming by
Facts.
far. And I've never hit in those plateaus. And you know what? I'm okay with it. And Lauren's on there, and I support the hell out of you because you deserve it. You're up
Lauren
here
be making me
doing your
laugh.
thing. You're promoting all kinds of people. You're helping the community with charity events. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason you're up there, and you deserve it. And I'm happy for those people that are getting it. That doesn't make me
Right.
mad or upset or sad. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people have to remember, that it's not always about who's up there. It's about
Right.
what are you doing to help yourself get there.
There you go. There
And
you
then there's
go.
the part that I get a little upset with it, and I do see, and I don't want to call it favoritism because I really don't think that's what it is.
Mhm.
But there are some major complainers. There are people that are never happy, that
No matter
literally
what.
complain and email kick staff literally on the daily. And
Mhm.
I feel that some of those people get put up there and that get pushed to partner and pushed to this. And not to say that those people don't do the work, because I think they do, but I think that
Mhm.
they know the more they complain, the more they get up there. And I think that Kick sometimes will try to alleviate that because they do go and bash on Twitter and they do
Mhm.
make it look bad. And I think that they do kind of put them up. So that's where I think it kind of falls short a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than
Right.
that, I think people just need to kind of relax a little, worry about yourself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I think
But
it
it's
speaks
easier to
like
blame everybody else.
we have people in a person in chat right now kind of saying, like, for example, like OF models don't necessarily need front page or whatever the case may be. And I will speak directly to the fact that, yeah, everybody's gonna have different opinions. Who gets on front page and what kind of content gets on front page is subjective. I've had people to say, I don't deserve front page. I make non-tent. I don't do anything. I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. But damn it, baby, I'm here. So my case in point is, if you're doing something that speaks to the platform, whether you're a badass COD streamer, you're doing just chatting, you're doing panels, you might be an OF creator. I don't know why we're trying to act like somebody like that doesn't deserve to be on the front page, especially if they're not doing OF content, as if Amaranth wasn't running the front page, playing Fortnite and doing other things. So as long as, in my opinion, you're not doing content that belongs on OnlyFans, to me, that should not stop you then, I guess, from being featured. And what's considered great content to me, and to somebody else, like the people that are in chat, I hear y'all giving your feedback as well, and we're all open to it, but it's subjective. There's people that, like I say,
Correct.
don't like what the fuck I have to do, and that's fine. There's people that like what BB Jess is doing with her radio, and they think that that is phenomenal.
I love
but
me
it's
some
not. But
BB Jess.
every time, I do too. Every time you're on front page doesn't mean you have to be doing something absolutely incredible every single time. In my opinion, you might just be might just having, like she said, she was on Valorant and got front page, just being the bomb, just having good energy as a VTuber and playing Valorant. Like, it doesn't have to be this big miraculous thing every time. So like
Girl,
we
I
say,
suck
front
at
page is
Valorant, too.
it's always going to be a place where people gonna feel like this person deserve it, this person don't. And it's just like a Shenanigans was saying, I think it's better when we just kind of worry about what we're doing and focus on that, than what anybody else has going
And
for them.
remember,
If you have a complaint, go talk to the staff about it. Go be like, you know what?
yes.
I don't believe that this creator should be on front page because of X, Y, and Z. And if they agree with that, they agree with that. If they don't, it's they fucking platform. They gonna do what they want to do and have who they want to have up on it. So what really can we do, huh? Except for
And at
just
the end of the
advocate for
day,
ourselves without dragging other people down.
correct. And at the end of the day, it is a business. It is a business that Kick has to
Mhm.
run. It is a business that we want to perform well because we want to keep going with it. So if we
Exactly.
want it to get better and we want it to do well, they're going to have to do certain things. We can't pick apart and complain about everything that they do. They are very interactive with smaller streamers and all streamers. And you do get chances and you do see people. It's just not as often because it's
Right.
also a business.
Mm-hmm.
So
Chop, give me some Shenanigans did a great job breaking it down, giving her feedback of the highs and the things that she does love and the things that could be taken into consideration in some areas for growth. And that's the way we do it, y'all. I mean, I know a lot of people like to give their quote unquote feedback, but if you're doing it in a way that's not providing a suggestion or solution focus, honestly, nobody is going to listen to that. Just complaining about something that you personally don't like isn't going to take you further ahead, in my opinion. But if you're coming with facts and you're like, hey, this is why I feel like this doesn't help. This is why I feel like this is not good to do and all that stuff, and why this is taken away from kick or whatever your case in point may be. Directing that to the staff and having those discussions, it does help in that way. But always come with your evidence, come with facts. We
Come
come
with
a
a
lot with
solution.
opinions, but yes, come with solutions and some evidence-based.
Like, I'm just going to complain.
So go
Sounding like
ahead,
the
Chop,
teacher.
and come on, not the teacher voice, but let us know some
People
of your
sounding like the
highs
teacher
and-
off of Charlie Brown instead of actually trying to make the community better. But
and
anyways.
remember, no one's perfect.
at all.
No one's perfect.
But I think what Shenanigans said, like, yeah, there was the argument that the same people are always on the front page. That's also where multi-streaming and multi things of content come in. Like, you don't need the front page to bring people into your chat. Like, yeah, they'll be your numbers will go up while you're on front page, but as soon as you're off, boom, it's back down. Like when they see you on front page, you need something to keep them there. Like, yeah, getting those big raids is awesome, but there's thousands upon thousands of people on Kick. You need to do something to stand out.
Right.
Like especially on those more popular games. I do like that Kick is more VTuber friendly. I love that. I love that because that is the only platform I've seen that has openly made Kick assets for VTubers, which it may seem like something small, but again, with Twitch does not like VTubers. I'm gonna say it. They don't. And like YouTube is more friendly for that. But I think Kick is more if you're just starting out, more friendly to smaller creators. There's more chances. I think the argument, I would like to see rotating games on the front page.
I agree.
I would like to see different categories.
Yes.
Or like Lauren said, like a 10 CCV or below. Because, you know, like when I have a lot of numbers in my chat, like I look for someone that is on the lower end of people in their chat. Because I know how I felt when I had, like when I got the raid from Lauren. I'm like, oh my God, there's all these people in there. It makes you feel good to pass that love along. Not saying that you shouldn't raid like big people, because it has been said that to raid big people so you get follows back. Like, no, I'm going to raid people that
I do see people do that, and I'd be like, does this person really need your host?
I think my community would like.
Yes.
I would like to see more round tables, because I know they had the one with Whittle Bears where they did that big panel. I think I would like to see an affiliate level of that.
Yes.
Where it's, hey, talk to some of these smaller people. Talk to some of your VTubers.
Yes, please. Your VTubers should get together and y'all should do a panel. Get your people together and talk about.
You want me and Oppie on the same panel? It's just
I do.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
I want Aurora Phoenix. I want Rashawn the Queen. I want Slayer I want all y'all to get together and get up in there and V2.
I would like to see Kick doing more community events. Like there's a big COD following. Like do a Kick COD thing and have different levels.
Yeah.
Have a Fortnite thing for Kick. Like
put
have
on by
those
Kick streaming, right?
Yes. Send out that API so I can use Stream Elements, please.
Come on. Yeah, I know we're begging.
Like, I think one of the things that still separates Twitch from Kick is there's a lot more audience interaction with the streams.
Yes, there is.
There is bits. There is channel points so people can feel more involved.
Yeah.
And a lot of those widgets depend on an API, and they're only Twitch because they can't use it on Kick. Which, if you are looking for integrations, Lumia actually does have a form of integration for Kick, but it's not perfect. I would like to see my audience be able to get more involved.
I've heard about Lumia.
They're spending their time watching your stream, like they should get rewarded too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there are Twitch drops. So people are watching to get rewarded. I think Kick
see.
needs to do something to bring in those people into the audience, because it's like, what's going to separate them from watching a game on here when they can just go to Twitch and get a drop there? But yes, mostly it's the rotating categories. Smaller streamers, I think, have a better chance here. There is more of an opportunity.
I think it's big
growth.
fish, small pond. That's how I look at it.
I think
growing pond.
Networking does not happen organically. You have to make the effort.
Talk about that. That's one thing I wanted to ask too. One of the just some strategies for networking and some advice for people that are new to the creation space. What's the best way to network?
When I wanted to be a VTuber, I went on Kick. I went in the VTuber category. I saw Opportunist on there, and I went in a stream. A girl, he was yelling at some zookeeper in there. I was like, oh, I like his energy. And I'm just talking to him in chat, seeing how they interact with their chat. Like, are you getting to know your community? Are you just trying to get numbers in there versus actually building a community? Like, just because you have a bunch of people in chat does not mean you're building a community. Like,
correct.
Because my people are my people.
Community.
Right.
Because I remember there are certain streamers, I would say something in their Discord and they would bring it up on stream like, okay, you actually care about your people. It's not just a number. Attention. I have seen streamers get upset. There was one streamer in particular who was like, well, I'm in so-and-so and so-and-so's chat, but they never come to mine. People don't owe you anything.
Thank you. Oh my God.
People got jobs.
I
People
hate
got
that
kids.
mentality. Yes.
I'm not going to go into or tab someone up just to get them in my chat. There is a lot of pressure, I think, on Kick to do the tab for tab. Because there are certain people, that's how they're building the channel. If that's how you want to do it. That's how you want to do it. And yes, you get those numbers up, but you're not building a community.
Right.
You just have a wall of emotes in your chat.
Right. You just got people coming in. But hey, I'm over here lurking. Have a wonderful day. Hey, this is Tuesday and have a wonderful Tuesday. You know, and it's always the same people and I know who they are. And I'd be like, if I catch you on and I feel like coming in, I'll come see you then. But I'm not going to come click on your name because you done hopped in the chat.
Red Stream, I say like two things to her, but I lurk in her chat because it's just relaxing watching her do her thing.
I like to lurk.
There is like Butterneats that I watch at the end of the night because that's I need background noise, and it's just that's who I watch late at night.
Right, you can catch.
Nobody owes you anything just because you're going in their chat.
Yeah,
like I'll watch people for a while. I lurked in Oppie's channel for a month before I really. And yes, it is scary reaching out to people. And like, there are like Lauren. I was lurking in Lauren, so it's like, oh, Lauren's huge. Like I was terrified to talk to Lauren. No, and it's like, oh, she has all these people. And I was like, Lauren, let's run up let's run up some games sometimes. Like it just put it in the chat. Like if you really vibe with them. And if they say no, respect that. Like if they don't want to play with people in chat, there's sometimes I may play Fortnite. I don't want to play with nobody. I just want to do my own thing.
Right.
And that
sometimes I just want to do a little solo or hang out. But I'm like, shoot, if y'all on and I'm down to Reddit, I'm like, shoot, let's go.
I had someone come in my chat and it's, oh, you gave me a sub. When are you doing a sub event? And I was like, I have my whole schedule planned out. Like, again, it's get to know people organically. Like, get to know them as a person, not what they can do for you. Thing.
That part. There is a lot of, what do you call it? People that have ulterior motives.
Or get to know. There were certain things when I started hanging out with Oppie more, people that stopped talking to me came back in. I was like, yeah, I see what you're doing. And I've had people straight up I've had people straight up rip off my content. That's going to happen. Like me and Janaban had a conversation about this. Where it's people are going to do it. You're not going to do it as well as me. Let's be 100%.
Nobody can ever do you like you. So I've never felt intimidated I've seen people literally do like the same thing that I've done the day before. And I've seen them and one thing that happened before is that I did a whole type of thing. I'm not going to go into all the details, the whole kind of panel. I saw somebody the very next day, literally pretty much, you know what you did. You pretty much just copied the exact layout I had of my panel, did it on your stream, and you got the credit for it because, you know, sometimes as a larger creator, you get more of a spotlight when you do something versus the next person. But baby, you was in my chat. You took notes. You copied the whole blueprint and
people are going to do it. That's just part of streaming.
It's part of the thing, but you'll never do it it the way that I do it, period. People want to do their own award shows. I was the first one. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I was the first one to do an award show on the platform for my community, in my community, while including other people. And now I'm doing one including the whole community as a whole. But I was the first one. But if you want to do it too, baby, go ahead and do it. You cannot do what I can do the way I can do it. So go on and do it your way, but it ain't no problem.
And my
Because you
warning
did
to
it-
like newer streamers is not everybody's going to get to know you and be nice to you on here for the right reasons.
Hell
Oh,
no.
Some
correct,
people
yeah.
will be nice to you until you can't do something. I checked somebody. I was like, hey, I didn't like how you did this. And then it was like, oh, you don't fuck with me no more? All right, fuck off. I don't care.
Move on to the next one. On to the next
The
one.
people that
Shenanigans.
fuck with you. Remember the people that were there when you had 2 viewers?
Mhm.
Remember the people that came in? My big thing is, like you brought up, I only had 2 viewers. I was like, how do you think that makes the 2 people feel that were in your chat that took time out of their day?
Yeah.
You realize how many
They're
streamers
real
there are
people.
out there?
So long as they're real people. They are real people.
Right.
Let you pay. Nobody's usually paying for 2 bots. Okay.
Girl.
So those are real people. Typically, when you see them 2 people, and appreciate the 2 people as much as you would appreciate the 2,000, because you can't handle 2, can't handle 20. You can't handle 20, you can't handle 200.
Don't change when you start getting more people
Come
either.
on now. And
Because
keep
we
up.
see it. Because a lot of
I
us
do.
You see it?
Sorry.
Come on, Shenanigans. Talk to us about your way of networking, how you feel that it works, and what you see as well on the platform
I was
when
gonna
people
say-
kind of shift. Go ahead.
Like I do, I think that the best thing, I mean, personally for myself, the best thing for networking is to be yourself. Don't try to sell an image or present yourself in a certain way, because people are going to see through that.
Right.
I like to have fun. I goof around. That's why my name is Shenanigans, because I just, I want, this is
saw
my
that in Among
place
Us.
to relax. Yeah. Like that's the whole thing. I'm all about laughing and shenanigans and doing dumb shit.
Love.
But like, if you come and you present yourself a certain way and you're networking, and then these people come to your stream and you're not that person after a little bit, like it's not going to help you. It's counteracting everything that you're putting the work into. So my big thing is I go in and I'm myself.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I am
First
by
things
far
first.
perfect. Yeah.
Sure,
Like
sure,
I
sure.
can be a bitch. I can take something wrong. It happens. We're human. But like, go in, have fun, be yourself.
I
play
don't do nothing
community
wrong.
games. Yeah, I mean, and I enjoy my time with people. And I think that's what shows the difference. And I think that's why I do have so many friends like in the community that I can go into streams. And there's not a lot of streams that I can go in that I don't know people and I'm not hanging out and have
Yes, and
catch up
feel
with them.
welcomed in there, I hope.
Right. Yeah. So like if you're just yourself and you go in and you network in that aspect, comment a lot, show other people love. That's how I meet a lot of people. And like I said, that's how I met my friends that I'm still friends with today from 5 years ago.
But I don't think you do it expecting something out of it, though. That's the big difference. Where it's like, oh, I'm going to get to know you, and then you come in my stream, and then I'm just going to emote or whatever.
I'm going to owe you something. Yeah.
No, you don't owe me shit. I had someone tell me
like
earlier today, another streamer came in. They're like, oh, Chop, you're here. Da, da, da. They're like, oh, Chop, you get around. I was like, the fuck you mean? Like, no, we've just been around the same type of people. And like, how I am on stream is how I am off stream.
Exactly.
Like, and then nobody owes you anything. And my unofficial role is you got to sub if you're going to be weird. Like, you're going to have.
That's what I be saying too. I'm like, listen, come in and be a weird, but you're going to get that sub badge first, and we still going to give you the boot. But don't be coming in talking crazy and badgeless. That's a quick way to get out this mess. But we mess with people like that, and you have to have a level of a sense of humor to just push through the streams and being around some of the craziest motherfuckers that you're going to encounter behind a Twitter or a keyboard.
And I will say, I do have a wall up with new people because I have gotten burned by other females in the community. Like me and Laura the Explorer had this conversation where it was, okay, you're getting to know me, but it's okay. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit before I fully trust you. Right. Because again, when I got banned, like I lost so many people I thought were my quote unquote friends. It's just
some of them same people might be the people that reported you and did all that.
Oh, girl, it was. Yeah, it was. Because she bragged about it on Twitter.
They're the main ones.
Yeah.
And no matter how good you are, it's like, what is it? You could be the ripest, juiciest peach and someone's still going to say they don't like peaches, people are going to hate you regardless. Just
no
be
matter
yourself.
what. So they'll just be you. And I think that's where a lot of these conversations usually come to their finalization, is that we all just need to try our best to do what we love. Like my girl Sugar Bears Club always says, is do what you love and remember that you are somebody. Enjoy yourself. There was when I got on Twitch originally 2 years ago, I got in it because I was depressed. I was working in mental health with children. I worked in mental health for 10 years and I was a child therapist for 6. And it's very draining. It's very hard. You get a lot of secondary trauma and all this stuff. So I'm like, where can I go to just meet people to play freaking Yu-Gi-Oh with, have a good time and chill? I did not even know, because I was not a Twitch person coming up. I watched some stuff on YouTube and things like that, like the crazy early YouTube stuff, but I never actually sat and watched people stream or play games like that. I didn't know the PewDiePies and the Ninjas. I didn't know that. So when I got on Twitch just 2 years ago, and I got an email after my stream saying, "Hey, you're on the path to affiliate." I said, "What the fuck is that?" And then I was like, "Oh, you can make some money in this fuck." I said, "Oh," but I went into it ultimately not thinking I was gonna make no money, not ever imagining I was gonna be partnered on any freaking platform or anything like that. And now I'm literally in a KCIP getting paid to do something that I absolutely love and enjoy. But I did it first because I enjoyed and I wanted to make genuine connections. And I feel like that's the best way that you can grow and glow in this space, is just by coming at it with, I want to enjoy myself, and then anything else that comes from that is a blessing. It's an addition. It's extra. It's not promised to you.
I agree.
Lord have mercy, girl.
One of-
Ladies, go ahead.
One of the things I did want to mention from earlier, and I
ahead.
didn't want to interrupt, and I forgot about, when you were asking like what we could improve on Kick, one of the things that I have noticed, and I know that botting is an issue, and I don't know how there's got to be a way that they can kind of regulate certain things, but I know it's an issue on different platforms. But what I've noticed recently, all of a sudden, is people are botting in like large amounts. And I think it's to put their name at the top of the list. So some of us smaller streamers, we're getting lost in the sauce because we're down at the bottom of the list. So if I have never had a list where the first 20 people have over 200 viewers until all of a sudden the last few weeks. So I wish that there was a way that they could kind of regulate that a little bit more.
Yes.
I know what it means when Lauren starts humming.
Yeah.
It means
Like,
you're on the money. You're on the money. And we all, and you're not the only one that sees it. A lot of us see it. I see it on TikTok. I see it on here. I see, like, TikTok is a huge place where they inflate viewership. And I'm like, there's like 2 people
Girl,
in there.
TikTok, you can pay to inflate the numbers on your TikTok.
You can pay for yourself. And it's a platform-wide issue. And I do feel like it is becoming more and more of an issue altogether on the platform. So I always do tell people, yes, focus on yourself and what you're doing. It's hard to control what other people are doing, but it can definitely be discouraging when it's like, dang, I didn't even get a chance to be seen because this motherfucker starting off, they streaming the first 5 minutes with 500 viewers and 2 people in chat.
Right. Yep. And then mine has like 20 and I'm popping off in chat. I can't keep up and I got to go, oh, let me check if I missed something.
Right.
It's like there's something wrong here.
Right. So just enjoy the people around you. Keep having a good time with it. I do want to thank you guys for being so transparent, from the aspects of womanhood to being gamers, to being VTubers, to being mothers, all the different levels and layers of our lives that we can bring into this streaming space and have to work with, twerk with, and midnight you know what with. To kind of put a bow on this beautiful conversation, I do want to give you guys an opportunity, if there's anything, any final thoughts or things that you want to promote about your channels, merch, events, anything you have coming up. Chop, I want to give you the opportunity to set it off with final remarks and some self-promo if you would like.
Vote opportunist for VTuber. We'll put that out there. Vote opportunist for VTuber and horror. We'll throw that out there. But no. I get a new VTuber model this weekend, so been 2 months in the making.
Okay, teach us.
I'm very, very picky. Like, if I'm putting that amount of money in it, like, get your money's worth. I'm adjusting the schedule a little bit because I think one day a week I'm gonna do cozy games, where it's like, no, I'm gonna play something like Stardew, or I'm gonna play my Infinity Nikki. I'm going to play whatever the fuck I want to play.
Excellent.
My intro used to be,
that.
hi, my name is Chopped. I make men cry in video games, and I play whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, we're doing Saturday Night Lockdown again. That is a weekly thing now.
6 p.m. EST, y'all. They do Lockdown
Yes, ma'am.
Protocol, Oppie and
Yes,
Choppy.
ma'am. Chopping up. Also, again, vote opportunist for VTuber.
They gave him a shout out in the chat too. And remember, it's an unbiased opinion. I know I'm the host. I have not put a vote in, but y'all can advocate for you. This is politics.
Like for me, I know Lauren had said that she hoped I got an award too, but it's still, I've only been VTubing a couple months. I'm still very, and I'm very like, I would rather see other people get it, you know? Like, Oppie been working his ass off.
I understand.
Like, I want to see him get it. Janaban's been working day in and day out. Like, Janaban's probably one of the happiest people I've ever met.
It's for real. I'm like, what do you put in your coffee in the morning? Because I need 10 of that. She's a sweetheart.
Legal.
Very, very legal. Ones. Thank you, beautiful. Y'all give it up for
I just want to shout out my community, though, for always being here no matter what I want to play. Michael is literally modding in my chat on his phone on mute.
Wow.
Like, I love my community and just the whole growth on Kick, like starting from scratch. I think when I came to Kick full time, I had 22 followers.
Okay.
And then I'm where I'm at now, and I think this shit takes time. It takes time. And everybody's journey is different. Some people may grow faster, some may grow slower, but you know, when you meet the real motherfuckers here, like Lauren, like Shenanigans, like Opportunists, like my boyfriend Fuzzmas, like keep those people and like
close.
It's easy to get Star Trek, like if XQC comes in, if Trainwrecks comes in, but it's like, no, be with the people that you know are really there for you and not to get something.
Amen.
Also, vote Opportunist. That's it.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Don't forget to put your nominations in for the Kick Community Awards Show. 2024 will be hosted December 27th at 7 p.m. EST right here on this channel. Shenanigans, give us any final thoughts and any self-promotions you would like to do before we wrap up for today.
I don't really have any self-promotions coming up. I have a lot of things in the works. Like I just ordered a whole bunch of logos and everything. So I'm doing some new merch that's coming up. I just started 3D printing. So I'm doing a lot of giveaways with like the dragons and the axolotl toy, like the 3D articulator toys and stuff. But I don't have anything like set up yet because my second printer has been delayed.
Oh, dang.
Till January because I found an issue. However, I do definitely think that if you guys want to have your voice heard, this is your chance to get in there and nominate who your favorites are and who you think deserves to be in those categories. So definitely vote and have your voice heard.
Thank you. Thank you. Do your votes, y'all, for the KCA. Have a good time with it. Remember, if you don't get a nomination or you don't win an award, remember, it's just going to be a piece of Canva that's going to be put up on the screen saying that you've won this. And then a couple people will be receiving some rewards, a little something to say congratulations to you directly from the Kick team as well. So just have a good time with it. Have fun. We're all adults here with the exception of very few creators on this platform. But at the same time, no matter what you guys, however you guys feel about the community and all that stuff, just enjoy the space and the time with one another. As I have enjoyed my time here with my girls, XO Chop and F7 Shenanigans. Y'all, this has been episode 5 of the Shenanigans podcast, the first ever girl power hour out here in these Kick Streaming Streets. Thank you guys so much. Again, Shenanigans and Chop for a beautiful time. Make sure you guys go check out both of these ladies. This podcast will be available to watch everywhere on YouTube. It'll also be available to listen to on Spotify and all types of places in about 24 to 48 hours. So make sure you guys stay connected with us. Thank you for listening and check out both of these awesome creators right here on Kick Streaming. Lauren-Shay, LA out. Chop Shenanigans. Until next time, my queens. Love y'all for real. Let's go.
Bye, guys. Love you guys.
Bye, y'all. Take care, you guys.
Bye.